Can the Blackhawks make it 4 in a row against the Flames? Join us for our watch along presented by Coors Light coming up next on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks Watch Along presented by Coors Light. I'm Jay Zawaski. That's Mario Tirabassi. Sarah's here running the show as well. The Hawks and Flames going to drop the puck here in about 6 minutes. We appreciate you being with us. Do us a favor. Hit that like button for us. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. That way, when the game's over and we start a new feed for the postgame show, you'll be ready to go and ready to watch us there. Turn those notifications on so you know as soon as we're live, and get yourself some Coors Light to watch with us. Look at how blue those mountains are. Those are some blue mountains.
Royal blue.
Yeah, so get yourself your own Coors Light. Very easy to do. You could do it via Instacart. It'll be delivered right to your door, nice and fresh, nice and cold. And you know by now, the way to go there is CoorsLight.com/CHGO hockey. That'll connect you with Instacart, and you'll have your nice cold Coors Light on your lap, in your mouth hole, by the first intermission, probably, right?
At least.
That's probably about right.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some big lineup news today. Seth Jones is back. So your forward lines remain untouched. It is Bedard, Foligno, Donato, Nazar, Hall, Bertuzzi, Dickinson, Teravainen, Mikheyev, Reichel, Maroon, Anderson. Your D pairs, Vlasic and Murphy, stay together. Allen and Jones is your second pair, and Korchinski and Brody are your third pair. Peter Mrazek also returning in goal. So Louis Crevier is the odd man out, and I can hear people screaming already. Why is TJ Brody still in the lineup? I don't know.
I think this coaching staff trusts him for the fact that he's a veteran. He is a decent puck mover in transition, and now that this defensive style is more predicated towards playing a little bit faster, I think that they value that. But I think the interesting note that we kind of caught on the pregame broadcast from Darren Pang was that while Louis Crevier is sitting today, Pang said expect him to play on Monday against Minnesota, which I mean,
thought it was interesting too.
Yeah, I think
kind of authoritatively he said it.
Yeah, he said it like basically like he's going to play.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
So it's interesting to kind of see what they're going to do while Alec Martinez is still out. With the rotation here, it seems like Anders Sorensen has said that he likes Louis Crevier for his stability, his length. Like there's a lot of good things to like there. He trusts him with it. Played him top pair with Alex Vlasic. Like clearly he trusts him to play in those situations. So it'll be interesting to see how they rotate him back in. Maybe it is TJ Brody that is rotating out. Maybe it's Kevin Korchinski. I'm not sure. But it'll be interesting to see come Monday.
Yeah, I am encouraged that it's not Korchinski, if that makes sense. Nothing against Crevier. He's played well. He deserves a chance to keep playing. But obviously, I think everybody knows that when we're looking 3-4 years down the line, Kevin Korchinski projects to be a much more important player than Louis Crevier. And I'm glad that he has come in and really taken this job and kept it. And I wasn't really sure what to expect when he joined the team. Like when he came back up, it was, I thought, a little bit of a surprise that it was him.
Yeah.
And he gets the call when Martinez goes down, and he's been terrific. And it's not just there's the flashes of offense that we see. No, it's the whole deal. Like the defensive play is good. He looks calm. He looks poised. He makes smart decisions with the pucks. And he seems like he's playing with such confidence, which is something we didn't see a lot of last year.
Yeah, and I talked with him whatever day that was, Wednesday?
Yep.
Thursday? Thursday, morning skate. And just, the confidence in himself and the confidence that comes from the coaching staff, I think is where you'd want it for a young player. And, with the system change between Richardson and Sorensen, it's not so drastic that this is something that these guys were like blindsided by, of like, I don't even know how to play a 2-1-2.
How do I do this?
Yeah, like they're
yeah.
like the system that Richardson was running was still being run in Rockford, but with Sorensen's more stylistic tweaks to it, of wanting the defenseman to saying, hey, be more engaged offensively, but then actually like pushing them to do it, rather than in Chicago when they were running the 1-2-2. It was basically like, yeah, we want them to be active, but I don't know, maybe out of fear for not being there defensively, almost never did. Like, take that extra chance offensively. So that, Korchinski playing that way in Rockford and now bringing it to Chicago, like that's the best way that he can play. Like, he's a great skater, and plays with really good speed from the blue line, and wants to be an offensive guy. So, with him playing in that system, that's going to bring out the best of him. And with Seth Jones coming back, like, yeah, is he the fastest straight line skater? No, but he's definitely a guy that is better if you're telling him, go play more offense.
Yeah.
Don't focus so solely on defense.
I'm really excited to see Seth Jones play under this system, because really all we've had with him is a couple weeks of Jeremy Colleton, Derek King, and then Luke Richardson for a couple years, and there's never really been this free. I don't want to call this system freewheeling, but more freewheeling than we've seen in his time here.
Yeah, more open.
Because if you recall, and I don't hate to trigger the PTSD for people, the Jeremy Colleton system was man for man, and it was just chase people around, and it was chaotic. And maybe it works for some teams, but it wasn't working for this Hawks team or that Hawks team more fairly.
Watching Brent Seabrook play one-on-one, man-on-man defense was
not ideal.
Not going to work.
No. But I'm anxious to see what Jones can do, because he is right now, until Korchinski fully develops, the Blackhawks' best offensive defenseman. And to see him have those reins completely removed from him, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be great, and I'm curious to see what the minute load will be today, because Alex Vlasic has really taken the bulk of the minutes, as he should. He's their best defender and showing a lot offensively, but they've got Jones on the second pair for today, so maybe they're going to ease him in a little bit, which probably isn't the worst idea.
Yeah, and I think it's a good mix too now with Jones, who in his career is a big minutes guy. Maybe you can take a little bit. You even things out a little bit. You put Vlasic and Murphy together. That's a good combination of defense, with Vlasic being able to maybe create a little bit more offensively. And as we've seen this season, like, Nolan Allen is held his own and is really kind of solidifying himself in his NHL career now. And he's got really good defensive structure for the most part for a young defenseman. And you pair him with a guy like Jones and allow him to create more offensively, and you can kind of balance it out a little bit. With Allen and Murphy, you kind of had two guys a little bit more defensively minded, defensive first kind of things. But, now you kind of split that out. You let Jones and Vlasic kind of handle a little bit more of the offense on those pairs, and you can probably even out the minutes a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see, because if you put Vlasic with Jones, it's two guys that I think at this point kind of do a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
And while they are the two best defensemen on the team, I like the idea of trying to maybe balance out the top two defensive pairs and bring a little bit of something out of both defenders on the pair.
Well, and if you start counting from last game, Nolan Allen's on an 82 goal pace.
He sure is.
You can't deny that. I mean, that's just math.
Yeah.
That's just science. All right, the puck's about to drop in Calgary. We'll try to do our best to get your clock synced up. We're at 19:55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50. So do your best to try to get somewhere on par with us, but it's going to be difficult because every provider is a different rate.
Yeah.
So we won't be doing play-by-play. We'll be
that's
reacting
what we're going off of. And I completely forgot that the Calgary Flames are coached by
Blackhawks legend.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
Oh, Bedard.
At least he shot it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's progress.
I want to shout out Tim in the chat. He said excited for watch along, excited for game, and watchable time for Europe. Excited to
Oh,
for
yeah.
a chance to
true.
have 4 in a row.
Nice.
We do have a lot of people who are fans of ours overseas in Europe. We talked when we were in the Discord channels. Talked to someone who is in Ireland. Our friend Holly is also in the UK, and yeah, you know, these afternoon games kind of are like primetime. You know, what we call primetime here, it's primetime over there, and they don't have to stay up till 4 a.m. to watch this Blackhawks game. And those that do, my hat is off to you, because if I had to do a full day of work and then stay up till 4 a.m. to watch my favorite hockey team, I don't know, I'd have some sleep problems.
Yeah, probably. Speaking of that, did not have any sleep problems last night.
That's good.
I took one of those counting sheep I was telling you about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Took a full one,
Oh.
and I woke up at 10 a.m. Like, whoa. Yeah, it was that worked very well.
That'll do it.
Yeah. I'm looking to see if Holly's in the chat. I don't see her just yet. Because Christmas is coming, and I had to get my daughter a Lucas Reichel jersey.
Oh,
so
nice.
she's Holly's got a little competition for Lucas.
Yeah.
That was really funny when that crush was revealed to me.
Oh, yeah. You saw that through Instagram.
Yeah, my daughter shared a moody photo of Lucas Reichel, like a dramatically shot photo. I'm like, what's this about? She's like, I just like the photo, okay? I was like, okay, a little defensive there.
Like what's
And
in
then
the
she
photo.
turned as red as the Calgary Flames jersey. So
She doesn't like Connor Bedard?
Oh.
if she does, she hasn't mentioned it.
Okay. Because
No,
how old is
she's-
Reichel? Like 19?
Reichel's what, 20?
Or is he 20?
3?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I
22.
see the younger guys. Yeah,
Yeah. Do you think Lucas Reichel's old?
I think he's young.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
He is,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I
He is,
consider
he is.
him young.
He's
Yeah, he's young.
23.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just,
That's a young guy.
Addie's 14 for the record. So, but it was funny. It was a funny realization. So I texted my wife as we're waiting for the Roenick thing to start in the atrium. I go, should I get her a Reichel shirt? And she's like, absolutely, you should. She called him a baddie this morning. I was like, all right, great.
Adrian in the comments said, "Your daughter has good taste. If I was 40-something years younger, I'd have a crush on Lucas too."
Fair enough.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, it was.
That's funny.
She's always been shy about that stuff, like acknowledging. But I'm like, why'd you share that picture? And she just like
Just fell apart.
flushed
Oh, that's funny.
him. And you want to guess her other big crush? Sarah?
You've mentioned it before.
Andy Samberg.
Oh, that's not the one
Samberg.
you mentioned before.
She only know who
Who is
that is
that?
from
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
No, Andy Samberg?
No,
You know him if you saw him. Lonely Island.
no.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. That's
Wow. We're
soul crushing.
and to me, Andy Samberg is like young talent.
Yeah. He is. Oh, jeez. Wow. All right.
Oh,
I'm gonna have
all
to
right.
recover from that one.
I need more Coors Light quickly. Anyway, it's good to see Mrazek back. I'm glad that it wasn't we sort of talked about it the other day, like a massive tweak,
Right. Yeah.
like
Not
a
significant
major
problem.
groin pull served under him.
Major groin
But
pull.
just something where he's like, yeah, I could probably use a couple days to rest.
Yeah.
And then he got
Well,
the flu.
and
which
then
didn't help.
you get sick on top of it. So like, can't imagine like getting the flu and nursing a groin injury and just like sneezing and then having your entire lower body just hurt.
Speaking of being young, I remember when that happened to Sammy Sosa when he sneezed and threw his back out.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
well, that can't happen. And now that as soon as I hit like 35, I'm like, that could absolutely happen.
Oh, yeah.
I could see that happening for sure.
Yeah.
Boy, the Hawks are struggling defensively right now.
Okay, so
Ah,
I
they're
just
fine.
Googled Andy Samberg. I know exactly who this
Okay,
guy is.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's
There
in a
you
bunch
go.
of movies I like. He's in the Facebook movie too, isn't he? What is that?
That's
Jesse
no, that's Jesse
Eisenberg.
Eisenberg.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a different guy. But I do
Yeah.
know this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Andy
brown
Samberg
eyes.
was in Hot Rod. That was a good one. He was in a terrible movie about wasn't he that the child pop star movie?
Oh,
Don't Stopping or something.
I don't know that one.
It's something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, she's got her tastes. It's fine.
Part of life.
Yeah.
Anyways, Blackhawks. They're playing hockey.
It's hard to do the watch along and watch.
I mean, these watch-alongs, like, it's, there's rules that we can't really just comment on every play
we can't
in real
call
time.
the game.
But I mean, the way that I approach these watch-alongs is just like, if I was watching the game, at home or with friends or whatever, like how we would chat while watching the game and talking about Andy Samberg and
Lucas Reichel
and teenage crushes and all that.
That's right.
That's definitely how it would go.
Sarah, who's your big teenage crush?
I was a big Justin Bieber fan.
Okay.
I was part of that whole era.
Yeah, you're that age.
Started.
Didn't he run over your foot or something?
He did, yeah.
Justin Bieber ran over your foot?
It was when I was like 14. He played I think he was at the United Center. I couldn't remember, but I ended up staying late afterwards and found his car, and then there was a lot of girls and everyone was pushing, and so when he drove away, I was pinned up against the car, and it like drove over my foot. And I had like bruises. It was great though. I saw him. And, like,
it was all worth it.
Totally worth it.
At the time, I was 14 at the time, so in my world, I was like, I can die.
You had a story.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Justin Bieber ran over your foot.
I mean, for me, it's forever Winnie Cooper and Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
That's a good one.
Wonder Years. I know you've never seen the Wonder Years show, but growing up, she was. And Alyssa Milano, of course.
Of course, yeah. That's one that in your generation is like the big one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think if we all agree on Alyssa Milano, it's a universal agreement. Yeah. Looks like Bedard just got interfered with, but no call. I'd like to start seeing him get some calls.
Yeah, he's gonna have to invite the refs out to his cottage.
Yeah, I guess so.
Over the years. Who was talking about that? Oh, Foligno. The other day was talking about face-offs regarding Connor Bedard and stuff, and having to, over the years, saying that you'll start to kind of learn the tendencies of some of the refs and how they drop pucks, and he said he didn't say like the refs favor other players, but he didn't not say like sometimes veteran players.
Yeah.
However minuscule of a
drop more favorably.
Favorable drop you can get, like when a veteran player will usually be able to get a little bit more of a like advantage that way.
Maybe like Sidney Crosby wants it dropped on its side instead of flat down or something like that.
Like, hey, can you drop it at a 23-degree angle instead of flat or whatever? Like, I don't know.
I'd just drop it and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, if I was a ref, I would just like doink, let it go, and get the hell out of there.
Commercial break. Adrienne in the chat says Bedard's whippy stick doesn't help out his face-offs. Yeah, it's
that's true.
That is true. I wonder how big of a. I mean, it's not like you hold it and it's like flopping around.
When you lean on it. Leaning on a stick that I think he's changed it since last year, but I remember him saying last year he played with like a 70 or 73 whip, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like that's so bendy. And when you lean on it, like in a face off, if you're leaning on it, it's gonna bend and not really have that like structure to try and dig something out. I think that the amount of sticks he broke last year was laughable.
Some on purpose, some not.
Right, yeah, but even still, like I think as he gets older and stronger, I feel like he's going to have to continue to up the flex on his stick just for what he's trying to accomplish. But that's why like you rarely see him take like big one-timers, is because those whippy sticks are not built for that. They're built for quick release shots.
Someone posted a video, it was this week, it might have been the Hawks themselves, of a hyper slow motion shot of a Bedard shot, and you just see the stick just like completely rainbow.
Yeah.
And the puck comes off it almost like the stick itself is doing the flicking.
Ooh.
That is a bad hit.
Ooh, he took a hit right in the jaw. Jeez.
I don't like that.
That's really bad. Is he all right?
Yeah, he's fine. That was
still out there.
That was a bit ago.
Jeez.
But yeah, didn't love that. Don't like seeing that happen.
Oh, he's out there losing faceoffs. Timing is 13:42, 13:41, 40, 39, 38. After the reset. Ooh, good save, Mrazek. Yeah, I mean, thinking about the team getting a little healthier here with Mrazek back and Jones back, and Martinez eventually is going to get back here pretty soon. I mean, he's been skating the last few practices and morning skates ahead of him.
Oof, tough shift for Nolan Allen.
Yeah, getting peppered here. Good for Mrazek keeping it out. Now they're going to call something.
Oh, Mrazek's helmet come off?
Mrazek's helmet's broken?
We don't have any commentary because we can't have it bleed into
it went
the,
high. His strap broke.
Yeah, you see him call right away, put his hand up.
His strap broke. But with the health that this team is gonna get back to, like you have Martinez coming back. That's another veteran defenseman coming back, and I think it's one thing to say, like, yes, these young guys have stepped in and they've been playing well and they're improving. There's another thing too with being just like, having that veteran presence is important. So I think it'll be interesting to see how, when Martinez is now healthy, getting him into the lineup, how that's going to go. And now you kind of see this, we've talked about for a long time, the surplus of like young defensemen coming up and how it can be utilized. It also kind of pushes, with these young guys playing well, it kind of pushes that like timeline on these 1-year deal guys of like, okay, what are you going to do with them? What is Alec Martinez to this team? Obviously on a 1-year deal was, I mean, clear as day, he's been brought here to play his way to a contender, but it's just like, when does that happen? With Korchinski,
I think you got to start thinking
Allen
about it
soon.
Because, okay, I want to be clear here. Like, if I'm just choosing, do I play the young guys or play the vets? I would prefer to play the young guys for my entertainment purposes, for the purposes of interest.
Mm-hmm.
But there are hockey reasons where I could still see, as well as Kevin Korchinski's played, sending him back down, letting him finish the season in Rockford, dominate in Rockford, take what he's learned up here again, apply it down there, be great, be dominant, take that with, share some lessons with Lev Shinov and some of the other young players down there.
Yeah.
And then if it's the deadline, if it's not until the beginning of next season, fine. I can live with that, as kind of as disappointed as I would be, because I don't really need to see, nothing against Alec Martinez, but like, at this point in the year, playoffs are not a thing.
Right.
They're not a consideration.
They're not playing for anything.
So just at this point, if a guy is showing you that he can be up here and be successful and not just hang on for dear life, then let him be there. Let him play there and make a space for him. And I think that was the intention all along. So if it happened a month earlier than you great. Let it happen.
I think it either was deflected or it got.
Oh my God!
As it got to it,
there has been a lot of chaos in front of the Hawks net today.
Yeah, a lot of the scoring chances Calgary's been getting are making me uneasy at how clean these looks have been.
And there's been a couple instances where Mrazek's kind of flailing around and the net's empty and they're just not able to convert on it.
Well, that
was that's just an.
Oh
my God! Did he save that?
What a save!
Wow.
Oof,
I mean, looking at these replays, that's where I like the behind the net camera, by the way. Keep that off my power play. But for replays, that is an incredible save. Holy moly.
Wow. What a save.
There's just a lot of shots getting blocked and bouncing weird. And
a lot of.
But that's, we talk about it all the time. Those happen when you put them on net.
Right, yeah.
So getting that mindset. They just haven't not had the puck very much in this game.
Yeah. Outside of that first chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, with the defenseman, like, I think you gotta figure out where some of these 1-year contract guys go from here. I mean, defensively, it's really just Martinez, but I think at this point there still is no wrong decision of giving a guy more ice time, more responsibilities in Rockford.
Right.
I mean, look at Wyatt Kaiser. Like, he got scratched and it looked like, he was going to maybe potentially, what a save, eventually be the odd man out anyways. With Jones and Martinez coming back, so I think the move to get him down and get him playing, rather than being like, well, you can sit here and be scratched and try and work your way back in. Like, just get him playing games in Rockford and play, top minutes and be on, penalty kill, power play, and give them those responsibilities. Like, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. And the same can go for, like you said, like with Korchinski and stuff, even if it is for another, 2-3 months until the trade deadline, and then he comes back. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, because Mrazek's making a ton of saves.
How's that groin?
Just, yeah, they're testing it out. That's for sure.
It's a cross check in the back. No call.
Oh, not a Bedard yet.
Well, on this conversation, I saw Charlie O'Connor from PHLY put this out in regards to Flyers player Emil Andre.
Mm-hmm.
They sent him down.
Another young defenseman.
Yeah, and Tort said, quote, "It's a no-brainer. It's gotten too rich for him. Easy part of the process. He gets a little bit up here, plays really well, starts falling off. We're not going to keep putting a kid in a spot where we're hurting him. It started off really well, but when you watch and the adrenaline wears off and things start getting caught up, all the conversations were on email was what is best for him. So I take him out because I thought it was just a bit of a struggle for him." So that's it. You're looking at what's best for the player. And
I've almost just scored again.
Yeah, and while we want to see young guys up here, we ultimately want to see young guys get up here and stay up here and thrive, and not just come up here and hang on for dear life. So
and
I trust this, especially with Sorensen. I really trust the staff in that regard.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I think clearly with the call ups that they made, with getting Nazar up here, getting Korchinski up here, like, I think that is a testament to being like, hey, if these guys are coming up here, we want them to be up here with the guy that already was coaching them, was in charge of, their development process. So, I think that the team is probably more comfortable in doing that with having Sorensen around. But I mean, we're gonna see how it shakes out, because with Martinez coming back, Joey Anderson, still is on the countdown of having to go down to Rockford. Craig Smith was put on IR and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see how some of this shifts around. After the holiday freezes, roster freezes.
Matthew in the chat brings up a good question. He says, "Do you think the rebuild was accelerated due to the Bedard draft, since before we had Keith already in the system, before we got Taves and Kane?" So I know what you're saying. Like, the Hawks got those final two pieces at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Taves and Kane came on after Keith and Seabrook and
Sharp was here.
Sharp, and like all those guys had been developing and they were starting to hit their stride. So Bedard gets here sooner, and I always go back to what Chris Peters told us. Connor Bedard cuts a year off the back of the rebuild, not the front. But I think a lot of us are in this mindset of, well, he's here, you can't waste the time he's here, and I do think a little bit that Kyle Davidson felt that way too when he went and got the guys he did this year. Mm-hmm. Had they not drafted Connor Bedard, I don't believe that Bertuzzi or Tavo or those guys would be here yet. Maybe, but
I don't know.
I think Bedard was a big part of the reason that he went out and upgraded this roster.
Yeah, I think had they not won the draft lottery, if they that draft they land 2 or 3 and get Fantilli or Carlson. I think it does change how the rest of everything has gone, because at that point you're not icing your 18-year-old phenom. I don't. Who knows if Fantilli or Carlson would have played as much as they did in Anaheim or Columbus if they had been picked by Chicago. Maybe they still do. Who knows? But I think it would have been different, because you probably would have looked at the prospect system as a collective rather than it's the prospects and Connor Bedard,
right?
Because he came in and it was just at such a higher level of young player. So it probably would have changed the way that they operated. Maybe all of those guys start in the minors and it's a more like veteran crappy team for 2 seasons, but I don't know. It might be different.
I love that.
Jeez.
I mean, hold your stick, but I'll take the penalty's
going
cool,
to the penalty box for interference. Yeah, Ryan Donato gets his stick yeeted to the third row.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take the power play.
Boy, these Flames uniforms.
Jones, Nazar, Bedard, Teravainen, and Bertuzzi is your top power play unit.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Shoot it.
Come on, guys. He's got it.
All right, just so if we're trying to sync up
Seth.
again, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. That's your countdown on the game clock. Sarah, can we hit the break zone after the power play? Sweet.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, I thought I went in.
Oh, I thought that was in.
That's another one. No? Okay.
Guess not.
Bedard is a lot shootier in this game, I will say. Shooty with O's, not I's.
Should be.
Oh, just wide. Oh! Yeah, another penalty. Right?
All
Or
right.
was that out of play?
No, he saved it. Dustin Wolf, man. Talk about...
I guess we're playing a wolf howl every time he makes a save. I mean, it's stoppages, I'd imagine.
I was going to say every time.
Not
Oh, my
just a
God.
constant.
He is... Talk about a success story. Like, 7th round pick, undersized, quote-unquote, goalie, and goes to the AHL, just lights it up. I think he was goaltender of the year in 2 years, rookie of the year, league MVP. I believe he got a league MVP too. Like, crazy. And then he, comes up here and he's had success in Calgary. Like,
He's been good.
very, very cool story for him. Not a big guy either. Like,
Let's not give up a shorthanded goal.
they did.
And they did. Well, all right. 1-0 Flames. Huberdeau shorthanded.
The hell is Jonathan Huberdeau doing on a penalty kill? Get out of here.
Scoring.
Yeah.
Well, the penalty kill streak is still alive.
It's true.
What
Yeah.
happened here? Ah,
Oh.
boy. Jeez. Huberdeau just blew past Nazar and Jones. Jones kind of fell at the blue line there.
Yeah. Is that Coleman? 20? Blake
Yeah.
Coleman.
That's just, I mean,
Frank.
that's just a highly skilled player making a highly skilled move.
Yeah. Frank played that. I don't know how much better can expect him to play that. But yeah, that's a guy who's put up 100 plus points in the league before making a power move on you.
All right. Still 48 seconds left on the power play.
Yeah,
So
they can still even this up.
no, that's not going to do
It
it.
probably won't though. The way that this has been going. Oh. You got Donato, Hall, Reichel, Maroon, and Vlasic on the second unit.
Korchinski.
Or is it Korchinski?
Yep.
Oh, it is Korchinski. I thought I saw Vlasic out there. I mean, I get getting Korchinski out there on the second unit, but I mean, I think I would rather have Vlasic.
I think so too.
The way that he had been playing on the top power play
Yeah.
unit, I would have just moved him down.
Maybe they're just trying to preserve his minutes a little bit now since they've
I
worn him into
guess,
the
yeah,
ground.
but
Oh, that's a bad
jeez,
goal.
Alou.
That can't go in. All right, 2-0 Flames. Not ideal. Nazem Kadri with a nice shot, but that needs to be stopped. Maybe a little bit of a screen,
I think he was probably screened.
but Korchinski tries to
Mercy.
feed it up the middle.
Yeah,
It
that's
gets
using
intercepted.
That's using your teammate as a screen or the defense as a screen.
That's a really nice shot.
That sucks.
I don't believe that one is shorthanded.
No.
No, it had just expired.
Penalty had been over.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right. Well, 2-0 with 6:34 left in the first. It's not great. Looks like Foligno's trying to get something started here.
Who's he trying to fight?
That's Pospisil. That's the guy who hit Bedard. So,
oh well,
at some point, that's probably going to happen. Yeah, Foligno out there with Dickinson and Mikheyev.
Well, I think he had Teravainen
Yeah.
on the power play just now. Also, you want to try and get a response after that outing. Oh, we didn't get all of it.
Next time, don't do that.
Yeah,
getting a goal here would be huge.
Yeah, stop the bleeding. Oh, God.
You don't need Jason Dickinson turning the puck over.
And a penalty.
It might be a penalty shot.
Yep.
Ooh, this is unraveling quickly. Huberdeau again.
Yikes.
Well, what was your favorite part of the 3-game winning streak? The friends we made along the way?
The third game in which they got to the 3-game winning streak.
The game is not over.
I know.
They can get 2 goals.
We're just it's Blackhawks past trauma because 2 goals is like, well, might as well be 10.
Penalty shot. Huberdeau versus Mrazek. Well, this will give you a test, Anders.
Sorensen needs to yell and scream more.
Yeah. Big save would be nice.
Nice. All right. That's huge.
Get that out of here.
Huge save. All right. All right. How's the chat doing?
I think they're okay.
People are.
Ref is trash.
They were kind of happy, and then we got 2 goals on us in the span of what felt like a minute.
Well, yeah, that'll do it.
So now everyone's upset.
Yep.
I mean, we got a comment from Steven who says maybe it's time to think about Korchinski going back to Rockford.
But
that was a bad pass.
Yeah.
But it's,
yeah.
Those are the things you live with.
Was that not Murphy trying to go across the middle?
No, he was a defenseman back. It was Korchinski trying to go through the middle, and then Murphy was the man back, I believe.
Okay.
Hey, all right, we do got to hit the break zone. This watch along is powered by our friends at Coors Light. And the holiday season, it is stressful on all of us. I'm sorry I don't have a movie lined up. I'll do it in the post game. So it's no wonder that nowadays you're kind of stressed. Got to get the shopping done. Got to get the cooking done. Got 15 parties to attend. All that stuff. You know what? Calm down. Take a deep breath. Kick back those feet. Relax and choose chill. And when you choose chill, you want to do that with Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment. These mountains are very blue. See that? And when they're that way on your can or your bottle, you know your Coors Light is ready to go. Ice cold, cold as the Rockies. So make the most out of the times you choose to chill with Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door right now with Instacart. Go to CoorsLight.com/CHGO hockey. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. We thank them for this watch along. We've got another one coming up on the 29th against the Sabres. 27th. Thank you. The 27th against the Sabres.
27th.
At 6 p.m. So that'll be fun. That'll also be, of course, presented by Coors Light.
That should be a wonderful game. Buffalo's things are going well over there.
Yeah. I really like the Hawks to get a goal by the end of this period.
I'm not going to throw a stone in my glass house, but things in Buffalo have been better before.
Have they? It's been a long time.
They made the playoffs a long time ago. They had Dominik Hasek.
That's a conundrum. That team, they've got a lot of talent.
Yeah, they shouldn't be this bad.
They should be significantly better.
But
and
also,
I think, I always think of our buddy Sean DePaz from PHNX, and now the producer of What Chaos is like a longtime Sabres fan.
Yeah.
And before it even happened was like, they're going to hire Lindy Ruff. I know they're going to hire Lindy Ruff, and just not wanting it to happen.
Right.
And we're seeing a lot of this like in the conversation with the Bears coach too. Like, well, you got to get someone who's experienced, who's done this before, and yada, yada. It's not always the best answer. Yeah. Which is why like the Sorensen conversation, if they finish the season like they've been playing under him so far, I'd give 2 years to Anders Sorensen, a head coach's team. Why not?
Yeah, you give him an equal shot at it.
Because I mean, unless you're getting a John Cooper or maybe a Mike Sullivan available right away. By the way, Pittsburgh's starting to turn things around a little bit, then sure. Like if you know you're getting a guaranteed, really, really solid NHL coach.
Yeah.
But if you're just going for like another retread, another,
if it's
Peter
just,
Laviolette or whoever, like that might
it's
be
just like we're gonna hire him because he's got a long track record and was in the playoffs 20 years ago. Like, like no thanks.
I'd rather see what you got.
But I'd rather give a guy who's, it seems like he's gotten something out of this group when they were very, very low.
Yeah.
We
just got to see what's the new coach bounce and what's real.
Right. Yeah.
I think the way this game has gone so far will be a good test to see how they respond, if they can get back in it.
Mm-hmm.
I did see shot attempts are even, which is a bit surprising to me. Hawks have had some okay looks, but
yeah. At least, attempts.
Yeah.
I think there were a few, especially on the power play, that I think got blocked.
Scoring chances are 11-8 Calgary, high danger, 3-2 for the Hawks. Is this updated? Yeah. That is to the moment. That's at 5-on-5 via natural stat trick.
Well, right now, Flames are pouring it on again, so that's not good. Although this Flames team, they've dropped some leads before this season, so hopefully that's in the recipe again today. And I feel like this Hawks team is, as much as we've been conditioned to feel like, 2-goal lead is insurmountable. Like
they just did it the other day.
They just had a two-goal comeback.
Yeah.
Like they have the example of you guys can come back from this. It's not, it's a different. It should be a little bit of a different mentality the way that they've been playing these last few games.
Yeah. It just has a bit of a, like chaotic feel or scrambly feel. I don't know.
It's been
both teams are kind of. There's been a lot of like turnovers and weird hops, and
it's been scrambly because the Flames have been, playing through the middle and getting shots off.
Yeah,
like whether they reach the net or not, like they're crashing the net on shots and trying to get get bounces and get rebounds to go their way. That's if you have a lot of offensive momentum and you control the chaos, you can get a lot of chances out of that.
And you see the willingness to put the puck on net today from the Hawks.
Ooh.
Like if there's nothing there, they're taking the opportunity just to flip it on net, which I don't hate.
Yeah.
It's better than just cycling it endlessly until you turn it over. Nice play by Murphy there.
Come on.
Another nice play by Murphy.
Get it up and out of the zone, guys. Come on.
Yeah, see, a lot of this, flipping the puck out of the zone, it looks like there's not a lot of space to move the puck out. Once the Hawks retrieve it in the D zone, Calgary is right there to kind of block all those lanes.
Yeah.
Aggressively forechecking at the goal line there.
Mm-hmm.
That's coaching. That's going to school on what the Hawks have been doing. That's
another penalty.
That's a little ticky-tack, but Brody off for slashing.
Montana Shy in the comments said, "Hey, is CHGO going to the Winter Classic?"
Yep.
Yes, we will be there. We'll be there. Game is at, what was it at?
4
o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Yep.
Game's at 4. We'll be there. I know there's a lot going on that day, New Year's Eve, and and everything. But we'll be out there. We'll try and hammer down some details on kind of an unofficial
meet us in Gallagher Way
kind
sort of thing.
But we'll be in that area, and if you're going to be down there, come out and say hi and try and find us, and should be a good time.
By the way, if you're looking for tickets to the college games in the days that follow the Winter Classic, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Michigan State, Wisconsin, other school. I think there's 6. I'm missing somebody.
They're doing 2. I think it's 3 men's games and then a women's game as well.
Tickets are very affordable. Even like on the main, Game Time will have them cheaper as they always do. But even if you just buy them off your traditional ticketing sites, very affordable. So if you can't get the Winter Classic and you want to experience the outdoor game, or you just love college hockey, it should be a very cool and affordable atmosphere to get to those games. And I wanted to go see Notre Dame, but of course they play the same day the Hawks play. Of course they do.
They sent us cool Winter Classic merch too that we just unwrapped.
Yeah, Fanatics hooked us up with a scarf and a hat.
No, it's nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, I really like the merch that's been released around the Winter Classic from the Blackhawks and stuff. Like I like the colors, the designs. They're quality, and they match up with the jersey and everything. So it's a lot of it is that off white kind of color. So it works.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I'm excited about it. We're still finalizing our broadcast plans. We're working with the Cubs to get that done, but hopefully we can be either in one of the broadcast booths or in an office somewhere across the street.
Yeah. Well, we'll get
We're working on it.
But we'll be there.
Yep.
We'll make it work. We're gonna have really some fun coverage coming from there. They'll have the practice at Wrigley Field the day before. That'll be cool too. Kind of get to be out there.
We'll do a preview show the day before. I think that's going to be at 5.
Yep.
So we'll go out there the day before for media stuff, and then bring it all back and have a live show at 5 the day before the Winter Classic to get everybody ready for it.
Yeah.
So it should be fun. I'm looking forward to covering it. It's going to be a unique experience for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. The first time it was there at Wrigley Field in 2009 was just like a really just a really cool moment in that Blackhawks run because it was like back when the Winter Classic was like the marquee in-season event that it used to be for the NHL. It was just like, oh man, the Blackhawks have the Winter Classic and it's at Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
And it's against Detroit. Detroit's defending Cup champs, and you got the up and coming Blackhawk. Like
Chris Chelios was on that team.
Chelios,
He was drinking beer on the bench because he wasn't playing
because Mike Babcock wanted to stick it to him. And yeah, it was just like just an awesome event. It was pre-renovations Wrigley too. So it'll be cool to see it.
Gallagher Way is going to set them up for big time festivities and setups and activations and stuff. So there should be a lot more to do in the neighborhood before the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm getting down there. I got a buddy who lives 2 blocks from Wrigley. So I'm getting down there around 1:00, getting a parking pass from him.
Oh, nice.
Resident parking.
Yeah.
Parking right in front of his house.
I was actually just going to say, I just renewed a bunch of mine. So if you needed one, I have them too. Because I live in Wrigley as well.
What's your address, Sarah?
Well, I just thought I was like, I live around Wrigley.
What's the code to your door?
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time. I'm a little bit, for those that have known me for a long time, Mario's worked with me for a long time. I'm very anxious because it's like an unknown. We don't have a lot of control on what's happening right now. And we're depending on other people to help us, and I don't like that. It's just like, I just want to know it's going to be okay. Just tell me we're going to have a place to do a show from.
Right.
I mean, if all hell breaks loose and we don't, we'll just have a delayed
You do it at my house.
We'll figure it out. We'll set up at Sarah's house.
Perfect.
It'll be fine.
Small, but we'll make it work.
That's fine.
That's fine.
It's like studio. It can't be smaller than Studio B.
Right. Yeah. We've done shows in small confines.
Yes,
we've done shows
100%.
in sticky floors with bloodstains on the walls.
I'll never forget when we were in Nashville.
It'll be fine.
And Danny Wirtz and Jamie. I always do that. Danny Wirtz and Jamie Faulkner showed up to our Airbnb, and they were like, "What's happening?" In fairness, there were couches that were like up against the wall vertically.
Yeah,
because we were making space to make a broadcast studio,
made
but
a lot of space.
It was in the entire island of the kitchen was
covered in equipment,
computers and cables and cameras and everything. We basically made a mid-sized kitchen a broadcast studio for 3 networks.
Right. Yeah.
So
if you've seen that meme photo of Hillary Clinton walking into the apartment, it was that.
Yes.
It was like it was definitely that kind of vibe. But that Nashville Airbnb that had hosted plenty of bachelor and bachelorette parties. It was a
nice place, except like
it was nice until you
they
started
forgot to put outlets in there.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice until you started looking at the details of the of the venue, and you were just like, "Oh, this is not good."
Clearly it had been built like a week before.
Yeah, Steven and I, we shared a room, bunk beds. By the way, it was very very stepbrothers.
So much room for activities.
But our shower was instantly clogged, and it was like if you didn't finish showering in 3 minutes, like we were gonna flood the bathroom.
That was Petey's shower. Do you guys have the same one?
No, so then we went down to use because that was the only one that we
was
had.
The one that drained. Yeah,
so then we ended up. Petey had his own room with his own shower, which was
that's Petey.
Wonder how he got that, but I think Greg was just like, I'm just gonna use his shower because they were the PHNX group was out doing something. And so I was just like, oh, okay, well, when Greg's done, I'm going to go use the shower because it actually properly drains. Yeah.
That was interesting. I actually ended up using the girls' shower at one point, too. Casey and Megan were, and Michaela were all up there.
Yeah, they had their own, wing
and I'm
of
like,
the
can
place.
I use your shower? I'm sorry to leave, back hair in your drain and everything, but, it was nice.
Yeah.
It's cool to do that stuff, though.
Pittsburgh, oof.
Pittsburgh was rough.
Pittsburgh, shoes stuck to the floor.
Yeah,
didn't really want to know more about that place.
Yeah, it was.
We stayed.
It was a good one night stay.
That was when was it you that lifted the pot on the no? Did you or Greg?
Oh yeah, I lifted a flower pot.
A flower pot, and the whole table came up.
Yeah. Hey, well, when you're going by Airbnb photos, I think the photo on that Airbnb was the lobby of that apartment complex. The lobby looked nice.
The lobby was caked in generic Italian Uncle cologne.
Yes.
It was
I love that brand.
Wafting.
Italian Uncle Cologne, is that what you called it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Delightful. Smells like pepperoni and Drakkar.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Well, who knows where our next trip will be?
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out with the whole Winter Classic thing, and it'll be good. It'll be fun. I mean, it's a lot has changed leading up to what we thought we would see at the Winter Classic, and the guys that are going to be here, going to be in the lineup. We kind of speculated maybe Frank Nazar, and now I think as you were just a week or so away from the game, there's a chance, maybe a guy like Kevin Korchinski is playing in the Winter Classic, given, how Alec Martinez's health goes. And, Anders Sorensen is now the head coach, and, just some changes. So I think had nothing changed and we were just still trudging along and going with Luke Richardson, and then, the results weren't what they have been over the last few games, I think going into the Winter Classic, I would be very much like, it's a cool event, but this might suck. This might be a very cold.
Some of the Winter Classics sucked when the Hawks were good, so who knows?
Sure, yeah.
Maybe they'll turn it around. The outdoor games have not been super kind.
Yeah, their record in the outdoor games not great.
And I heard Foligno and Hall were on with What Chaos. If you missed that, check it out. It's really good stuff.
Bruins podcast,
exactly, with a hint of Oilers. But Foligno was like, you just have to go into it knowing it's not a normal game. Don't try to play it like a normal game. Don't expect it to be like a normal game. It is not. Everything's different. The way you play is different. You just kind of have to go and just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of alluded to the fact that some players got frustrated with, it's hard to play in these conditions. Yeah, it is, but go in with that mindset. I think you see a simple. That's why I think the Hawks dynasty teams kind of struggle with it a little bit, because they were so skilled that they're trying to play their game, and they just didn't get the results that they were used to getting.
Right. Yeah.
And now maybe a little simplified game plan will help out. We'll see. I mean, it's not like St. Louis is setting the world on fire either.
Right. Yeah.
But it's always a cool experience. Ooh, I like that shirt. It's always a cool experience to have an outdoor game, and I think with enough separation from the last one, it feels a little special again. It had been
5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Yeah. 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. And if you're going, yeah, like Mario said, look for us around. We'll be out in Gallagher Way somewhere.
Yeah,
hanging out.
We'll find a spot.
Yeah.
There's. I mean, I'm interested to see how the dynamic is, being that it is New Year's Eve rather than New Year's Day, because I feel like New Year's Day you kind of get you don't have the like going out for New Year's like vibe, or you don't get that crowd or anything like that. But I wonder what it'll be like being the fact that it is New Year's Eve leading into, the whole evening festivities.
Yeah, and
especially
it's
in
at
that
4,
area.
so people can start getting after it at the game a little bit and then just go out afterwards.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
I am very glad. I New Year's Eve to me is, where the best place to go for New Year's Eve is?
Home.
My couch. Thank you very much.
To bed.
I am good. 12:01 a.m. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah, well, we've had New Year's Eve games.
Yeah.
What, the last 2 years?
I think so, yeah.
We had an afternoon game. I think they were both afternoon games on New Year's Eve.
What was because
there was
Halloween was the night we worked, right? And I was like kind of freaked out about driving home late on Halloween. There was something
I think we had a Halloween game.
I forget what it was. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, we had a game that was supposed to be the New Year's Eve night. I think it might have been 2 seasons ago, our first full-time season. But it was against the Blue Jackets, and Ohio State was playing in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
So they moved that game up to like
That's
a 1
right.
p.m. start. So we were like, oh, sweet.
That was nice, yes.
We'll just work from home and then stay home. Like we've had that, but yeah, I think it'll be what it is. I mean, the game will be over by 7.
Yeah, probably.
Our show,
depending on how much, pregame pomp and circumstance there is.
yeah.
Because it probably won't start. Like the official start time is either 07:35 or 37:35.
Right, yeah.
I would be surprised if it starts that prompt, like 4:07:35. I doubt it.
Yeah, they're gonna have pregame festivities and everything. They got Chance the Rapper is gonna perform. Smashing Pumpkins is performing as well.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
Play mayonnaise.
That's gonna be really cool.
Sarah, Smashing Pumpkins. Anything? All right, good. That's a nod.
I know them.
That's encouraging.
That's good. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely not going to be the like NHL average like 2 hours and 20-minute like game. Like it'll be a little bit more dragged out than that.
I'm quite happy though that we're gonna be in the press box.
Yeah,
that'll be,
knock on wood.
That'll be nice.
Hope we are.
Yeah, I think
hope there's enough space.
Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, the conditions I don't think are going to be terrible. It's not going to be like bitter cold.
Yeah, we were looking at the other day. The whole week it's going to rain.
Yeah, it's gonna be
but it's supposed to be cloudy and about 40.
Yeah,
which I would think would be probably ideal Winter Classic weather.
Yeah,
it's not so blistering cold for the players, but it's cold enough for the ice to maintain.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you think the average temperature of like ice surface of an NHL rink is?
The surface of the ice?
Like when you're down on the ice playing, how cold do you think it is, like in the air around it?
I'm sure there's a scientific study.
Boy, the more I see this hit, the more I hate it. That is
holy
trash.
Smokes.
He puts the elbow up. Look at that. That's intentional.
That's not really great. I mean, I'm glad that Bedard played the rest of the period. So, he seems fine. But again, this is a kid who, had his jaw reconstructed.
Yeah.
Last year. I mean, he's not even, is that a whole year ago? Right? That happened before the All-Star break last year.
Yeah. What was it? November it happened, I think?
It was like early December, I think.
Okay.
So, yeah, basically a year out from that injury and everything. Yeah, the less Connor Bedard gets hit in the face and jaw, the better.
I think that's why we saw. Well, I know that's why, but I wonder if anything will come of it with Foligno trying to fight him.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure the NHL is not going to go back and be like, "Hey, supplemental discipline," especially because it wasn't called on the ice.
Well, if you want to minimize that stuff, though, that's how you do it. Like, hey, I know you weren't penalized, but that's a dirty hit, and you're going to be fined for it.
All right.
Or you're going to be suspended for it, whatever it might be. If you want guys to think twice about doing that, especially to, one of the game's youngest stars, like unnecessary, dirty, with the intent to injure, make an example of it.
Right.
Who's more important to the NHL? Right?
Yeah, I mean they don't think about that.
I know
in the moment, obviously, but yeah, it's definitely something that's got to be curbed.
I hope so. By the way, what are the odds that Brad Marchand is actually a 63% tipper that he does in that commercial?
0. Does it say 0% that
and make your coffee like $10?
63% tip?
Yeah. Depending on where you
get your coffee. Yeah. I will say though, the whoever's making the NHL commercials nowadays,
they've done a good job.
They've done a really good job with the millennials one, or what is it? No, Gen Z. The Gen Z one. And now this one with the tipping, like very. And
even the one a couple years ago with Sorrow saying no goals.
I don't think that wasn't an NHL one.
No, it was but it was. They've been doing better with the ad campaigns.
But
Enterprise no, I think it was like a retire because it wasn't the conversation. Like if you hit your retirement goal, like a like maybe TD Waterhouse or something like that.
Yeah, but no, the actual league ones have been good.
All right, I'm checking the chat here, see if anyone says anything interesting.
I threw a question in Slack for you that I thought was interesting.
Oh, sweet. All right. This from BKR Sport. As an Australian who really has no idea about ice hockey, but loves the city of Chicago, where are the Hawks situated? Are they a promising future team, Bulls-style purgatory? Where are they at? They're a promising a team with a very promising future.
Yep.
They've got one of the game's premier young players, one who is believed to be generational. And while he hasn't really shown incredible numbers and output yet, obviously the flashes have been there from Connor Bedard. He is the team's leading scorer. He won the Calder Trophy for Rookie of the Year last year. So he's kind of on the track where he should be. Just had 100 games, and when you compare him to number one overall picks of recent vintage, he's right there with Matthews and McKinnon and all those guys in terms of production through 100 games. So he's doing well. The prospect pool is packed, loaded with prospects, including the number 2 overall pick, Artem Levshinov from last year. So yeah, they'll probably pick in the top 5 again this year. So they're in very, very solid shape for a strong future, unlike the Bulls. Because, well, I mean, it's also different. Like the NBA, it feels like there's only like 1 or 2 great players in the draft every year that are like guaranteed this guy's going to be a star player. Mm-hmm. And maybe not even that. Like, you know what I mean? It's
I feel
like your second round pick might never play.
Right. There whenever there's graphics for the NBA of just like second round picks that have been all-stars, it's just like, oof, that's not a long list, like it really does seem like in the NBA, if you're not picking in the top 5, like you're taking somebody who's, you're just kind of hoping becomes a big star, and ones that do, again, it seems like few and far between that, like you get a player who's drafted outside that range and then becomes like a big franchise changing star. So the Bulls aren't in a position to get in that range.
Well, the big difference too is ownership.
Right. Yeah.
And
then you also don't have the, if you try and tank in the NBA, like especially as the Bulls, like if you try and go for it the way the Blackhawks did, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah. The hard cap also does help hockey teams say, this is what you can spend and you cannot go over. There's no luxury tax. There's no kind of gray area.
Yeah.
This is the number. I mean, and of course there's ways to skirt it. The Vegas Golden Knights have done it for years, where you bury someone on an injured reserve so that salary comes off, and then when the playoffs start, the cap is gone. But in terms of spending every year, it is a finite number of what you can spend. And the Hawks have always been willing when it's time to contend to pay up to the cap, and they will when it's time. And I mean, they're not really that far. What do they got? Like $6 million in cap space or something?
It's like 5 and change.
It's not it's not a ton of cap space as it is anyway. So,
but this is with a few guys on 1-year deals that are
Right.
a little inflated. All right, second period has started. Blackhawks on the
trying to
penalty
kill their
kill.
32nd consecutive power play.
1941, 40, 39, 38, 37. Yeah, glad to have gotten the clarity on the penalty kill. That was a point of contention after the game on Thursday night.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Nice
31.
play. Tavo, yep.
31
Do us a
officially.
favor, by the way, if you're just jumping in, hit that like button for us. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. We will do a post-game show today, as we always do for these. And that'll be a separate link, a separate feed. So make sure you're subscribed so when the new one starts, you get notified right away. And we'll obviously share it on social media as well. And our watch-along is powered by our friends at Coors Light. We thank them for that. We'll tell you more about Coors Light in a little bit. I'm going to resend the social media tweets.
Yeah.
So talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Yeah. And as Hawk points out in the chat, talking about, the future, and I think you may have said something about Bedard, like maybe hasn't shown the promise yet. Like, considering he is still 19 years old, last year, youngest guy in the league. This year, I believe he is the second youngest, only because Macklin Celebrini is playing in the league. And this past draft's #1 overall pick, who's playing fantastically in San Jose. So for Bedard to be at the production level that he's at, given the teammates that have been around him over this season and change, it is rather impressive at the age that he's doing it at. Like, and trying to, he'll be an NHL veteran by the end of this season, before he turns 20 years old, with, over, it'll be well over 100 games played and all that stuff. So, he's still figuring out everything within this league. And I think like we definitely got, like infatuated with the idea of like, he could be a 50 goal scorer by year 2 or whatever, because of the fact of, the kind of shot that he had and what he was doing at the junior level. But I think as we all found out, and definitely he has found out and is still learning, is that, getting those shots off and having that space and to make those plays, that's going to be a penalty. It's tougher. It's a lot tougher to make that jump from juniors to the NHL and have all of that translate so quickly.
Yeah, and to be clear, when I said he hasn't shown the generational potential yet, I think what I was meaning to say was, I think there are a lot of people, like you just said, Mario, that expected him to come into the league and have 100 points and be on the highlight reels every night and all that sort of stuff. It's just not realistic.
Oh, high stick. Oh,
that's
Frank.
Yeah,
watch
keep your stick down.
I thought they were calling Bertuzzi on the hit behind the net.
Yeah. I could have called a hold of stick there, too.
Yeah,
There's a couple things you could have called.
Definitely held the
Jay, I'm throwing up that tweet you just sent me in
Oh, yeah.
Slack of
Our buddy Jamie Pierce has his owl watching the Hawks game.
I love that.
Nice.
Yeah, everyone
Owls are so cool.
tag
You
us
know-
on Twitter.
I've
Send
never
us yours.
seen I take that back. I have finally seen an owl in the wild. But I think they're such cool animals.
They're
and
awesome.
I don't know, is Jamie like a falconer? He must be.
Yeah.
There's
he does, I forget.
yeah, he is. He's a falconer. Animal care technician.
He was saying last year that the Hawks had like a team outing at his like what do you call it, conservatory or something like that. To go and see like all the birds and stuff.
That's cool. There was an owl in Homewood where I live, and I could hear it. And one night I'm like, I'm gonna go try to find it, and it was perched on top of like a church steeple.
Ooh,
it was like
cool.
on top of the cross, on top of the steeple, just like hooting away. It was very cool. Yeah, the only time before that I've only seen one has been in captivity at the Little Red Schoolhouse. Southsiders know what that is. It's like a nature center and they've got a couple
Nice.
in and outdoors. So, yeah, they're very cool.
Cool.
And I'm a middle-aged man, so I'm into birding now. I got bird feeders and I got a bird camera. That's what happens when you hit your mid-40s.
Got to find other interests.
Yeah. I gotta get my food out for the winter. I haven't done that yet. My to-do list for my birds. Yeah, Hope got me a camera. So like whenever a bird would come, it would just take a picture of it.
It's like a Ring camera for a bird.
Notifications were a little ridiculous for a while, so I had to turn those off. But
Steven in the comments, he has a question for you guys.
Yeah.
He said, stupid question of the day. If a player blocks a fellow teammate's shot, does he credit for a block shot?
No. Friendly fire's turned off in this mode.
Yeah. That'd be funny, though. But you still get a shot attempt.
Do you have guys with like shot block bonuses? Like,
get in front of teammates.
Yeah.
This is for $1 million. Oh, that'd be ridiculous.
33
33
straight kills.
consecutive penalties killed. Good job, guys. Stop taking them now.
Yeah. I like those 5-second ones they had in the last game.
Yeah.
Oh. We could save it for post game maybe, but I do want to talk about Frank Nazar a little bit too. Like, has not scored yet.
Jeez.
Doesn't have a point since his call up. Not that I'm worried about him, but maybe just the game is moving a little fast for him. And I know Anders talked about him the other day, saying like liked him better in the first couple.
Yeah.
And that's, as I referenced that John Tortorella quote about like the adrenaline of the first few games and then reality kind of sets in.
Yeah.
Again, not remotely concerned about Frank Nazar, but like to see a little production. Like to see him get rewarded.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, and, you know, with Hall and Bertuzzi, you figured that's not a penalty?
I guess not.
Okay. With Hall and Bertuzzi, you know, the way that they had been, you know, clicking the last few games, you figured he was jumping into a situation which, you know, he'd fit in. He'd be able to, you know, kind of rely on those guys a little bit, but kind of everybody on that line is not really had jumped the last few games. So hopefully that changes maybe on this shift. Maybe not.
8-1 shot attempts this period in favor of Calgary. Now, of course, they've
had 2 penalties
twice.
There are 2 power plays.
Yeah.
That impacts that.
Ugh. It's just one of these games where nothing's clicking. Even when the right idea is made, it's just not
right.
It's not turning into anything.
Not, yeah. Calgary's had putting a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah.
All right. Come on. Where's McCavo? Get them out there.
Oh yeah, we should do a poll vote on the nickname. And if I start losing, just start it over until I win. There he is. Oh.
Oof.
See, even, you know, it's intercepted because it hit something. Jesus.
Ooh, Allen.
It's getting blown by. It's not good.
Block. Chip it up. Oh, come on. No, that's got to be
off
off the boards and out.
Off the boards.
Come on, Allen.
This is it, though. Like, young team, when you start to struggle, you're trying to make that perfect, precise play instead of the smart play and just live to fight another day.
Well, and you get out there for a long shift.
Yep.
And,
well, a good way to make your shift longer is to turn it over again.
Right, yeah.
Just live to fight another day, get it out.
Well, and that's what happened with Kaiser on that one a couple games ago.
Yeah.
Out there for basically 2 minutes and then had a chance to just get it away from him and turns it over, back of the net. Oof. Stick out of there. Oh, okay.
Like that. Hey, if we're not calling headshots. Again, just to sync up your clocks if you're joining us late, 12:00, 11:59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54. That's about where we are. Oh, it's just so scrambly. So scrambly.
Who's out here? Maroon, Donato,
Yeah, there's a
Reichel.
Yeah, I saw Reichel was out there with Hall and Bertuzzi too after the penalty expired. Yeah, just turning the puck over like crazy. Oh my god!
It's like it feels like the defensemen haven't been able to like connect on these like outlet passes at all. I don't know if it's just the forwards aren't there or what, but man, they've had a struggle to chip it up and out.
I mean, and you mentioned earlier too, the Flames are pressuring like crazy.
Yeah, they're all over them.
As everything gets just swatted right back at them.
Yeah, jeez.
Frankly, fortunate that it's 2-0 right now.
Yeah, Peter Mrazek has made some really impressive saves. The stick save in the first period was huge. Stopped the penalty shot. Like, I know it's 2-0, but like he's be a lot worse without him. Jeez, it was a rough ride.
Say, Bedard's tough though. He's taken some big hits in his career, and
I'd like
when his jaw isn't shattered.
Yeah, I'd like him to take less though.
Yeah, that would be nice. There we go. Make
Nice.
something happen here.
Come on.
There we go. Connor Bedard.
Great play.
That was a really nice play. Good pass by Hall.
Sauced it. That was really nice. Needed that.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. Stay tuned for more soul-crushing analysis. Nice play by Bertuzzi to chip it off the boards, though.
That was good.
Oh, that's
a really good pass.
That's a really nice play. It's like Bedard took a little off that one, too. Like, trying to... it hit the right pad of Wolf and went over.
Hey, still counts.
But yeah, he did not try to... I like, though, that he didn't try to corral it and toe drag it and rip it. Just fire it.
If he dusts that off, Wolf's got a chance to get over and get more of it. Nice.
All right.
Just as we were saying, Hall and Bertuzzi aren't producing. They get assists. Now, Frank Nazar, he's not producing either.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Hawks needed that. They needed to disrupt the onslaught that the Flames were taking to them in this period. So you get that goal. You get now you get a little bit of momentum, get a little belief back in yourself. You might be able to shift the tilt of the ice here a little bit. That's good.
Let's have Jamie in here and have him bring some Falcons to fly around the.
That'd be awesome. Some Harry Potter style. Just let some owls loose in
just
here.
let them fly around. We got like some of the piping up here they could perch on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, we could have them like poop on the bull show. Like, what happened? Oh, no idea. I don't know how that got up there.
My mind was blown. Because I like owls too. They're pretty cool. But my mind was blown when someone, I think they like had them and they like lifted their feathers and their legs are like super long.
Oh yeah.
Like it look like all you see is their feet, but if you like lift their like, I don't know, feathers, belly or whatever, you can see their legs are like, they're like mostly legs with like a little like body up
some
here.
Some famous
so
meme
funny.
of like featherless owls or something. They look like aliens. They're creepy looking.
They're funny looking, but yeah, that when I saw that I was like, oh, I thought they just had like little tiny feet. Like no, their legs are extremely long. They're just covered. That was a good play by Bertuzzi. Good chip.
Yep.
Nice.
Oof. I was telling my wife today, I'm like, this is the game every year where I'm glad we don't travel with the team because you got to do that
The catwalk.
The catwalk. I'm good.
I would do it.
Oh, I mean, if we were there, we'd have to.
Yeah, you'd have to.
But I would not enjoy. I think all you have to do is like eyes forward.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of edges. Does that make sense? So like, I can be up high, but I can't like look over the edge, or I don't like going up on my roof because there's no edge to it.
Right.
There's no like, what do you call it?
Gutter,
like fence or
barrier.
God bless it.
All right, well, it's 3-1 now. Oh, come on, guys.
That's old school Hawks giving up a goal right away.
Less than what? Is that less
than
a minute later?
26 seconds later.
Jesus.
And you got Murphy and Vlasic out there. Vlasic clears up the boards.
Chip up the board, doesn't get out.
Yeah. Who else is out there? Murphy, Vlasic.
Ugh.
Dickinson. Yep, that's who you went out there after a goal.
Right, yeah. That's your
to defend that, but
that is your post goal.
I want to see that play up on the boards there a little bit because it looked like a stick got held or something up there.
Yeah, it was a tie up, but God, it stinks. Oh. That's a good face-off win for Bedard. Nice. Good job. So you got Bedard with Bertuzzi and Hall now.
It's almost like
that's odd.
It almost like that makes sense, kind of.
I mean, yeah, I get it, but like, but also, why? Like, what are the other changes here?
We saw Foligno, Foligno, Dickinson were out there together.
Was it Foligno, Dickinson, Mikheyev?
It might have. I didn't see who the third forward was in that shift. Actually, you know what?
That's who it was.
It'll be on the goal summary. It was Dickinson, Tavo, Mikheyev.
Okay, so that was back to that.
Wait, Foligno was on the ice though for sure. I know I saw Foligno out there. Oh, maybe I saw Dickinson. Yeah. So the game summary says Dickinson, Tavo, Mikheyev, Vlasic, and Murphy.
Yeah. All right. So did they just flip Nazar and Bedard?
Well, I remember we also had that shift after the Nazar penalty where Reichel was centering the Nazar line.
Right.
So there's Frank right there.
Nazar's out there now with Bertuzzi and Hall.
1-on-5, Frank.
Oh, Jesus.
It's the same guy. Yeah. Donato's going to whip his ass. That's enough. That's enough. Oh, and then, okay.
Okay, so we can just.
I love that response from Donato. Yeah. I know he's going to take a penalty for it, but you can't have one pud whack on the Flames taking runs at your two young stars and not have them answer for it. And you had Foligno try, and he refused to fight. So when you're going to play that way, you're going to have to answer for it. I'm sorry.
Well, Hawks might come away with a power play here because Patchell comes in behind him, jumps in here. Patchell, I don't know how you say his name.
Yeah, Martin Pospisil, which is a name I'll never be able to say. Pospisil. All
right, well.
Has hit a dirty hit on...
He was the one that had the Bedard...
Dirty hit on Bedard and a questionable hit on Nazar. So, yep, if you're going to play that way, get ready to answer for it.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Look, playing with an edge, I'm not opposed to it. If you got guys on your team that play that way...
Yeah.
Like, for a long time, the Hawks had, Andrew Shaw would play that way. You had a lot of guys who play that way. But they knew they employed Daniel Carcillo. But when you employ that guy, you're going to take some penalties, and they're going to have to answer for it.
Right. Yeah. Well, hopefully, we'll see how the penalties get divvied out here. But hopefully it's, at the very least, even.
Well, before we see what happens as we're in commercial break here, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to our YouTube page, and we want to remind you about our friends at Coors Light in this stressful holiday times. It's easy to get worked up. Choose chill. Choose Coors Light. You can get some delivered to your house right now. Go to CoorsLight.com/CHGO hockey, and those wonderful folks at Instacart will bring it right to your door Just make sure you drink responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Big fan of Instacart, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
They always do a really nice job. I use it for my parents from time to time when I can't get over there.
Nice.
It's always dependable. Like you say, be here at this time, they're there. It's very nice. But hey, when you only want Coors Light, it's hard to screw that up.
Makes it easy. Yeah.
Would you like a keg? Would you like a
keg?
Yeah. Oh, here, this is cool. Time lapse of the Winter Classic building.
Getting everything set up here at Wrigley Field. That's cool.
The only downside to the Winter Classic is they did not have the Winterfest at Wrigley, which I love. The Chris Kindle Market, and then they have the on the field stuff, which is really cool.
Well, they still have an ice rink on the field.
I don't know if the public
it's
can
just
use
not
it.
open to the public.
You have to break in. We are not by the way, we are not suggesting you do that, but you know. But we went to the Aurora one last night. Very nice. The Chris Kindle Market. I don't know what that park is used for where they have it set up. It's massive. I guess they have some like 8,000 seat amphitheater there.
Dang.
But they had a ton of space, really good food. We had a good time. It was a nice night out.
Nice.
And it's about an hour ride for us, but who cares?
Yeah, I mean.
That's a punch to the face.
A high hit.
And any turtles. Ooh, Donato got a couple uppercuts in there.
That's good. Good for Donato.
Rabbit punch.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I think we don't have the broadcast on, so if they're explaining the penalties, we haven't heard it.
Yeah, we can't hear anything.
It looked like Paschal was heading to the box too.
Yeah, Paschal and Pospisil are in there, and Donato is in there too.
So it should be a Hawks
power play.
Yeah.
Yep. Boy, it'd be nice to score on this one.
It would be. Oh, man.
That is shoulder to face.
He gets him up high.
Yeah, Donato wasted no time on this. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. You need guys to stick up for teammates and be willing to do that. That happens. Nope. No extra penalty.
Well, the Hawks only have 4 out. 1, 2. Are the Hawks short-handed?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, Donato got a roughing and a 10 misconduct.
Ugh.
He got 2 roughings and a 10 misconduct.
2. Okay. That's weird.
I don't know if it's just an error in the score sheet, but
2 roughing. Well, no, he wouldn't have gotten.
So are they giving him 4? It says roughing 2 at 12:03. So maybe they're 2 separate penalties.
Maybe he gets
like he roughed twice.
Twice the roughing? I don't know.
All right, come on. How about a shorty here?
It's an odd divvying of penalties.
Get McCavo on the ice right now.
All right, well.
If Calgary scores here, I want like bedlam. I just want like fights the rest of the game.
Just completely.
Yes. Get everybody Pat Maroon versus the world.
Unhinge the game.
There it is. And a power play goal. That's brutal.
Penalty kill streak ends.
2 uncalled 33. 2 uncalled dirty hits. Calgary gets a power play and scores. That's brutal. That is brutal.
Great. Does this break down? Huberdeau, yeah. Puck goes low to Huberdeau.
Coronado again. God, this guy kills the Hawks.
Good. I don't think Murphy's supposed to commit that far down to Huberdeau on that pass, but I mean, I don't blame him for trying to make a play on Huberdeau and thinking that he's a little more of a threat than Coronado, but I don't know. You don't want to leave the center of the ice open either. Tough spot.
There you go. Mix it up, Maroon.
Yeah. I still don't understand how it wasn't at least 4-on-4 or even after that.
I don't either.
Scuffle. I don't understand how Calgary comes out with a power play.
Hopefully there's some sort of even up coming here, because that's.
I mean, you'd imagine.
I don't know.
That's how the NHL is officiated.
It's really dumb. It's really infuriating. I get missing the Bedard hit, right? Like that. It's right in front of you. This one, the one on Nazar is right in front of your face. It is impossible to miss that goal, that shot.
Joey Anderson.
Be not Joey Anderson. It's aggravating.
Come on.
Once again. All right, we're at 6:15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. I don't know. Sometimes these things can rally a team, so we'll see how they respond.
Maybe.
I talked about it last game. Like, I think that their responses to things like this, be it a dirty hit, be it post-whistle stuff, be it any kind of, letdown, they seem to respond pretty well. So
hopefully.
That's just a great save. It's a hell of a shot by Joey Anderson there.
Oh, he was right there, too.
Yep.
All credit to him. He's not getting many shifts in this game. Bedard with Bertuzzi and Hall again.
From now on, I demand watch-alongs only for wins.
Yeah, me too. We'll do retroactive
watch parties. Let's watch the replay together. Or games from the past.
I bet I know what happens next. Oh, yeah.
The 17-second watch-along.
That actually would be kind of fun. If you think... Because think about, like...
How do in the summer?
How much time has passed since those games?
Yeah.
To go back and sit down and watch the entirety of a game. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of stuff from those like postseason games that happen that you don't even remember. Big blast, Murphy.
This is aggravating.
Yeah. It's frustrating because it's something that ends up being out of your control with how penalties are given out in a situation. And then also like, it's Calgary. Like they're not world beaters. This the way that this team had been playing the Blackhawks the last few games, you figure, it's tough to go on the road, tough to play out of your building, but you've had some good performances and you try and take that momentum on the road, but you get the 2 goals in quick succession in the first period, and you're chasing the game from there.
Would like this period to end 4-2. That would be pretty big.
That'd be
you'd feel a lot better about things in that scenario.
Ooh,
there you go.
Play Dickinson.
Nazar, Anderson.
Oh, jeez, Brody.
I think we're between shifts here, though.
Nazar, Anderson, Foligno. That's an interesting group. That hit him in the head?
So you got some communication issues. It saw Brody kind of signal like Korchinski to go. Oh, God bless it. Nice save.
It's aggressive by Mrazek.
That's... I don't know anymore. I can't even get mad because I just don't understand. I guess the 35 years I've been watching hockey, I've been misled to what a trip is and to what headshots are. Who knows anymore?
Apparently.
I just saw a Blackhawks player fall down because of the opponent, and it was not called. So, all right. Neat. Good stuff.
2:51 remaining in the second period. Down 4-1. Love it. Apparently, I'm being blamed in the beat writers chat group
Because you asked about the record?
because I asked for clarification on the penalty.
No,
kill
this
streak.
is Ben Pope's fault. Let's be real. He's the one who said, "Look at." Didn't he say, "Look, they're gonna get scored on today"?
He is the one
That's
that's
Ben Pope's fault. 100%. I'm gonna refill my water. You need a refill?
Yes, I do. I need more water. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hello. I feel like Sean Anderson. Yeah, this is a frustrating one. You see the way that the games have gone the last few, especially the comeback effort that they had and being able to like close out tight games, get those late game wins. Like you really felt like, something was turning a corner, and not to say that this game is completely out of reach. Again, feeling like you might have that kind of pushback in the third period would be nice to see. But the way the Flames have been playing, like they've been putting the pressure on. But I don't know. I want to believe that this new coach bump that we've been seeing under Anders and 4 wins in those 7 games. I want to believe that it's more than just that bump. Like it's actually like a change that this team can continue to progress with and play with this new mentality and take advantage of it. But we'll see. It's still early in the tenure of Sorensen and under this change. So just see how they keep responding to it. But cool graphic here on the game says first 25 games of the year, 43 points from defensemen. The last 8 games of the year, 17 the last 8 games, 17 points in the last 8 games from defensemen. So yeah, I mean, it goes to say that this system is built to have defensemen be active, get involved in the offense. It's never a bad thing. Never a bad thing to try and score goals. That's what the whole point of the sport's about, right?
I want to remind everyone, since Jay's gone, so we'll fill in some talking time, that the Blackhawks Top Shelf event is sold out. Yeah. But if anyone is a Chicago Bulls fan, we still have tickets available for our Derrick Rose night on January 4th. And there are still tickets available for that sweet takeover. But they are going fast. And so if you do want to be a part of this, just head to our website and go to our events page, and you can get tickets and more information on that. And if you are a diehard, you get a discount. I believe it's $100 off of the ticket.
Yeah. Yep. That'll be a fun event for us on the 4th. And then, on the 20th for us, 4th for the Bulls. That'll be really cool event. It's definitely worth it. It's going to be a fun experience. What's not a fun experience is that it's 5-1 now for Calgary.
Sweet.
That's because of you, Jay.
You
ruined the
it's the 5th goal was my fault?
Yeah.
Got it.
If you had been sitting down, they would have only been held to 4 goals. Yeah, that's rough. That and that's I don't know. I feel like they may have had some sort of case for some sort of goaltender interference because Coleman bumped Mrazek, but I think he was pretty far out of the net. So, oh boy,
fun.
Yeah, and that's also a play where both of your defensemen are playing really high in the defensive zone, kind of leaving Coleman to do whatever he wants in front of the net. Like, you can't have that kind of breakdown.
Well,
what should we talk about in the third period?
Yeah, really. Is there some wrestling on? We can.
No, Saturday night's main event was.
I didn't get to
week.
see any of that.
Adrian in the comments said, "I'll take part of the blame too. I got up."
Thanks,
Damn
Adrian. It's all your fault. Well, there's plenty of football being played today. We could change the channel and talk and talk about whatever football game's on.
The Chiefs won, and it was Mahomes' technically first injury game he played. So
I'm sure he looked terrible.
Playing through an injury.
yeah, because he was injured, so people didn't know if he was going to play. But he just has like a bruised or sprained ankle.
Oh, okay. I was
But
gonna say.
they won today. That's all the
Good
football
for the
news I
Chiefs.
have.
Hopefully he had a big game because he's my fantasy quarterback in one of my
He's
leagues.
mine too, but I think I have him on the bench.
Mm.
I can tell you right now.
Classic big shot. Right into his glove.
Bears play tomorrow. There will be a CHGO tailgate.
Yes.
Bears are
CHGO
playing
tailgate.
Lions tomorrow. I'll throw in the comment
Is that
section the link for it.
that's a noon game?
Yes,
Nice.
noon game. So tailgate starts at 7:30, and it will go until about 11:30 noon. If
Awesome.
anyone wants to head out and join us, there will be lots of CHGO Bears guys there, and we're expecting there will be heaters. So
yeah, that's
people,
gonna be key.
yes.
Yeah, those tailgates are always a lot of fun. The setup we have now, where we're at, is a great spot, and yeah, it's a good time. So even though the game might be questionable, the atmosphere at our tailgate events always a fun time. It's the optimism of a win that makes those fun.
Yeah. 23.7 fantasy points for Mahomes.
That's pretty good.
260 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I'll take that. Come on, Dickinson. Oh,
Never in my wildest dreams did
I
I
thought he was
suspect
right
I had to
there.
bench Pat Mahomes for Sam Darnold, but here we are in the year 2024.
Yep. Well, this period. is
Rattler Man in the
coming to a
comments
close.
said, "At least the Hawks are not as bad as the Bears." Just saying.
That's true. I mean, at least, well, I will say with the Bears, at least there's somewhat hope for the future. Like
With the Hawks, you mean?
Bears
For
too, a
the
little
Bears.
bit. Like KO's been good, and once you get the quarterback, you're in good shape, and I think they've got him.
Yeah.
But they got to protect him. He can't get sacked 60 friggin' times.
No.
With 2 games to go.
A lot of people in the comments are saying this is the worst game of the season for the Hawks.
Ooh, wow. It's not great.
It's definitely one of the.
Yeah.
It's not the worst, but it's definitely down there. I don't. I'm honestly as like as almost nothing of a stat as it is. The fact that coming into this game, 31 of 33 games this year, they've been leading, tied, or only down 1 going in the third period. Like, they haven't really been walked in a lot of games, and this is one that they are.
Yeah.
But that really just hasn't been the case
I will say
for most of the season. But yeah, they're still coming up short.
And this one feels like the score is probably a little more lopsided than the actual game is. When you look into the fancy stats, scoring chances for, it's 17-16 Calgary. High danger chances, it's 4 each. Shot attempts for 34-28 for Calgary, so 55%. So it's not a massacre by any means.
Yeah, it's not. It hasn't been a huge difference. It just seems like, I don't know if it's just a favorable bounce or just, I don't know. It just seems like Calgary they've gotten a slight advantage in scoring chances and opportunities, and they're making the most of them.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, usually when you would have a Hawks game where like this is the worst game of the year, you would look into some of these numbers and it would be,
you'd think you'd be getting killed.
50 shot attempts for through 2 periods or shot attempts against, and they'd be in the 20s or 30s, and it's much more even than it is actually appearing to be on a scoreboard. So, which who cares, right? It's still
right.
It's a 5-1 deficit.
It comes down to the goals,
right?
Yeah.
My worst game of the year that'd be fun to find.
Yeah, I gotta think back. What would have been the worst game of the year?
Go through. Let's see. I can tell you, like their worst like possession performance of the year is the game they beat the Oilers.
Oh yeah,
they were out. They beat the Oilers 5-2. Shot attempts were 82-31 for Calgary. Their worst games of the year. 2 of the 3 are wins.
Analytically,
yeah. The November 3rd against the Ducks, they win 4-2. 72-36 shot attempts against. Wow.
Yeah, I mean this game feels the reverse of that Oilers game early in the season. Like it just felt like everything that the Hawks did ended up in the back of the net, and it feels like tonight, like Calgary is just they're getting the good fortune and they're making the most of the chances that they're getting. And they're burying them. Like Mrazek has made some big saves, but it's also like there's at least 2 that you're just like, I wish you would have played that better.
Yeah. I thought the second goal I didn't love. He was screened a little bit, but it was kind of a flutter shot. It looks like he's lost his net a couple times today too, and I think part of that is a result of
maybe some time off. Yeah.
Maybe, but I think what I was going to say was more like pucks getting deflected and hitting someone on the way, and he's kind of reacting to where the puck's going all the time. Whereas, and that's his style. He is more of a reflex kind of a goalie, where Soderblom is more of a positional kind of goalie. So he's going to look that like you'll see Mrazek kind of swimming more. Well, Soderblom was doing that a lot last year because he had nothing going right.
Right, yeah.
But when they're both at the top of their game, I think you see more spectacular saves from Mrazek because he's a little more athletic in the way he plays.
Yeah, I mean he's still decent position.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Himself, he's not. There are some goalies that go out there and just play the position based off of their athleticism. But yeah, I mean Mrazek when he's on his game, he's not a lot of wasted movement.
Yeah. Well, at least Bedard scored.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's like last year. Well, the Hawks lost again, but Connor Bedard scored.
That is what this game is starting to feel like. If anything, like let's just have some of the young guys like put in some good performances through the end of the period or end of the third period. Most goals by a teenager in franchise history, Connor Bedard alone in second place. Eddie Olczyk 49, Bedard 30, and Patrick Kane 29.
Hey, Eddie Olczyk was a rookie like right before I started watching.
Yeah.
I did not realize like every time those stats are brought up, it's always him.
Yeah. Well, he played he would have probably been the same age as Bedard, right? Because he played, I think, 2 full seasons as a teenager. He came right out of the draft and started his NHL career.
Started at age 18, 50-point first year, 79-point second year.
Yeah.
Both as teenagers. Which is crazy because Bedard 129 points over 2 seasons, like that's probably doable for him. What is this?
Well, he did,
right now?
missing
that hurt.
14 games last year.
Hurt.
So that's probably on the pace he was playing last year. That's about 10 points potentially that he missed out on.
33. Actually, so let's say 37.
Yeah, I mean, if in two full seasons in the NHL would be 164 games. Through 100 games, he was at 87 points.
He's on a pace for a 65-point season if he plays all 82 this year.
This year?
Yeah.
It's
Which
low.
You'd probably think it would go. It'll go higher.
You would hope it would be higher at some point.
And 61 points in 68 games last year.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, 126 points, 126 points in your first 2 seasons. Like, that's pretty solid for an 18 and 19-year-old on teams that were bad. Because Olczyk's rookie year was what, 85?
Let's see here.
I want to guess
84, 85, yeah.
84, 85. So that's a team that's got Savard, Larmer, Troy Murray, Secord, I think. too.
Let's
He would have been
see.
playing. Doug
Where's the
Wilson would have been on that
stats?
team.
Oh, I'm looking at audio. Hold on. Hold, please.
84, 85.
Yeah, leading scorer, Savard, Larmer, Wilson, Murray, Bill Gardner, Eddie O, Kurt Frazier. Yeah, this is a good team.
Yeah.
105-point season for Savard. He was 23. 23-year-old Steve Larmer with 86 points. Damn. 22-year-old Troy Murray with 66 points.
Wow.
That's a pretty stacked team.
So your top producers were all under 25 years old.
Yeah. Doug Wilson was 27 and had 76 points in 78 games as a defenseman.
As a defenseman,
Yeah.
Jeez.
Jack O'Callahan was on that team. Mark Bergevin, the Gummy Bear Destroyer, was on there.
The Claw. Yeah, so I mean, it's Olczyk was on a different type of team as a teenager. There,
4 hat tricks that year for Dennis Savard.
It's pretty good.
This is the same Bill Gardner as the Wolves guy, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Defenseman?
Yeah.
Yep.
I've always known him as Billy.
Billy Gardner.
Yeah. And if you're mad at me for not knowing this stuff, I was 8.
Why didn't you know, Jay?
I was 8 years old.
You don't remember all the things that you learned when you were 8 years old about hockey?
Unfortunately not.
It's about when I started. Was it my 9th birthday? My 9th birthday was hockey themed.
Yeah, I got into hockey
Sports-themed, and I
end
got
of
a jersey.
like 7th, 8th grade is when I really got into it, which would be, like 92.
It's a good time for the Blackhawks.
Sarah, how old were you in 1992? Negative 20.
Not even a thought. I don't even think my parents knew each other.
Yeah.
What year were you born?
2000.
2000.
Yeah, I think my parents have been married 26 years.
Okay.
Something. So yeah, I don't even think they were together.
Nope.
Interesting.
I was in senior in college when Sarah was born.
In 2000?
Yeah.
I was 10.
All right.
10 years old.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we were on totally different
I would
life
say,
ways.
yeah, I'd say so.
Yes.
Yes.
Much different.
And here we are. It all worked out beautifully, didn't it?
It all comes together.
We're all here together. These intermissions feel very long today, don't they?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know.
Todd in the chat says, I worry that all of our young prospects are little dudes. Future is exciting, but I worry about coming up against big physical teams.
Well, they've got massive defensemen.
Yeah,
If that's any solace.
you're a young defenseman. Alex Vlasic, 23 years old, big kid. Nolan Allen is a big guy, 6'3", pushing 200. Ethan Del Mastro is a big guy, also like 6'4", over 200 pounds. Artem Levshinov is, I think, 6'3", 6'4".
Yep.
Like when he physically matures, he's going to be probably around that 200-pound range. Sam Renzel is still got to fill out his frame a little bit, but he's 6'4", like 180-ish pounds. Korchinski, I think, is 6'3", and he said that he's up to like 190. Like defensively, you got a lot of big guys playing back.
Yeah,
there.
and if you look at the top of this draft, there's some big forwards available.
yes,
Sasha Boisvert is 6'2".
yeah, and that's I think that's a guy that I'm very excited about his future prospects with the team, because we talk about, like, you know, guys to play the center position and play down the middle of the ice, and you know, you got Bedard and Nazar, and maybe Oliver Moore is a guy that plays center at the next level. But yeah, all those guys are 6 foot or under. But with Boisvert, like, you have a guy that plays physical, plays down the center of the ice, has good size to do it, and is showing a really impressive scoring touch as a freshman at North Dakota. He leads the team in points, and he's scored some clutch goals. Like, he's a guy that I'm very excited to see what his future is going to hold, because he could play an underrated key piece in this rebuild and in the future of the team, because you know, you have a lot of guys. It's easier to transition from a wing or from a center to a wing than vice versa, and you almost never see it. So I mean, if Nazar or Moore are not full-time centers at the NHL level when their career is like, in its prime, having a guy like Boisvert be able to hopefully have his game transition from junior to college to the NHL, down the middle as a center, like would be awesome. And to get him, 18th pick, like that's good value.
Don't forget AJ Spelliscy too, who played amazing in the preseason.
Yeah.
Stuck around for the entirety of it, almost
the entirety of it.
6'3", 204 at age 18.
Yep.
So if your center depth is Bedard, Spelliscy, Boisvert, and whatever order you want to put it in,
yeah,
and Nazar and Moore become wingers, or however you want to shuffle those up, you're okay. And don't forget trades, free agency, like when it's time to address the needs will be addressed. Yeah. So I don't mind. I will say this. I 100% want Kyle Davidson to draft a forward wherever they pick in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
But his philosophy of drafting the best available player and figuring it out is sound because, okay, if they all hit and you've got too many defensemen, which looks like might be the case right now, you've got trade chips that you can move.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't hate that. Sure. No. Would it be better to have, we've got 4 grade A forward prospects and 4 grade A defensive prospects, and we're ready to go. Like it rarely works that way. And even these guys who you really like Spelliscy's a good example. Maybe never becomes a full-time NHL player. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Like you look down the line, like we still haven't seen Colton Dock. I think we're going to. That's another big forward.
Yep.
Like you've got Samuel Savoie, who's not big but plays big.
Yeah.
So they're going to have options here. They've got Moore, Nazar, and Bedard are on the smaller side, but all 3 have shown a willingness to go to the middle of the ice and play that kind of game. So. But don't underestimate how strong Connor Bedard is. Like Martin St. Louis was a little guy.
Yeah.
But he was a guy who thrived in playoff hockey, who made his way to the net all the time.
Yeah.
Very similar build to Bedard. And I think when Bedard is fully filled out,
right,
you could see
still just 19.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of room for physical growth there from him.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Charlie, the bacon guy in the chat, is asking you, are you guys mentally prepared for people to blame Seth Jones for this loss?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was going to happen. That's inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that we can squarely blame Seth for all 5 goals.
Right.
And
he was on the ice for one of them, but
and that
all 5 are his fault.
He should be benched because this team was better without him. Who needs him?
That's it.
Toss him to the side. Put him on waivers.
We also just reached 100 likes.
Dang.
Hey, sweet.
Nice.
So
Thank
let's
you.
make it 101 likes.
Yeah.
And then 102 likes and so on and so forth.
That's, yeah.
I'm doing my part. I'm signing into all my YouTube accounts. There's 101.
There you go.
Get one from the I'm Fat podcast. Give you a like there. It's 102.
When Bedard starts hitting like Roenick, then I'll be happy and satisfied. Well, Todd, I'm not sure Bedard's going to become Jeremy Roenick. Because Jeremy Roenick was not 5'9" when he entered the NHL. He was, he's 6'2", Roenick? Ish?
Yeah. He's big.
Yeah.
He was light, but he was big. 6'1", 205 was his playing weight. So, yeah.
Yeah, and
I don't think Mike Keenan is walking through that door to grab Connor Bedard by the throat and tell him to hit people.
To choke him out and say, you're either going to go to sleep or you're going to hit people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool sweatshirt on that girl. Never mind. Rick Ball back in his own stomping grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't he have the mic by his mouth? Oh, yeah, he does.
It's over there.
I thought that... never mind.
This is the second time that they've been back in. He's been back in Calgary. They played earlier this year in October. Also a loss.
Oh,
that one would have been nice to score. Yeah, that first shot of the game for Bedard, like that was a really nice opportunity.
Yep.
That could have, if that goes in, that could have changed the momentum there. Oof, man. Yeah, like you said earlier, the more I'm seeing these hits from Pospisil, the less I'm liking them.
Yeah, they're not. I mean,
They're not great.
I don't know. It's the second one especially. Like the Bedard one, you get lost in traffic. The puck's heading the other way. The refs' heads are looking away fine, and it's more subtle. The one on Nazar is an extended punch to the face.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
And I get that he's a big guy hitting this, as we're saying, the small guys. But like you can't just say like, oh well, big guy hits a small guy. What are you gonna do? Like, well, yeah, you have to hit legally, and it's not subjective to whoever the height of the person who's involved in the play. Like, you can't, if you're going to hit a guy, you got to be able to hit him clean. So it's the same thing with, the whole Matt Rempe discussion.
Yeah.
Like when you're that tall, you have to adjust your game. You can't just say, I'm 6'8" and I'm going to hit someone who's 6 foot. And, oh, I'm sorry that my elbow is just at your head's height. That's just how it is. Like, no, you have to have yourself adjust to the game. And yeah, the people who are getting hit got to also, adjust to play a way to not get hit, but it's almost impossible to do in hockey because of how fast it's played. In my beer league, even we're not playing fast whatsoever. People still have to be, paying attention to collisions and contact and everything. Like, It's just the nature of the game. So you just got to be mindful of how you're playing the game. It's no longer the 80s and 90s and early 2000s of just everyone's out there on their own and running wild.
Third period underway, 1936, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30 if you want to try to catch up with us. Bedard, Bertuzzi, and Hall out there to start the third. So that looks like that's a change for the rest of the game. There's Bertuzzi's pulled down, no call.
I mean, that trio led to a goal, so I'm not going to complain about it.
Oof.
Did that go off the post
I don't
or
know,
go wide?
That was strange. Really nice first shift here, though.
Yeah, this is a good start.
There it is.
Yeah!
There is your Tyler Bertuzzi trademark goal laying on the ground.
Yes. Huge.
2 points for Bedard. Really good first shift.
Nice.
All Hawks for 57 seconds.
They needed that.
And the watch party starts now. It's 1-0 Blackhawks.
Thanks for joining us. Oh, nice.
That is an ugly.
Good effort to keep with it.
An ugly goal from a handsome man, Tyler Bertuzzi.
Yeah, 2 points for Bertuzzi now. 2 points for Bedard. It's good. They needed that.
And hey, you're worried about big forwards? You got Tyler Bertuzzi for 3 more years.
Sure. Yeah. Not the biggest
He's not big,
guys,
but he plays
but
big.
He's big enough and he's physical enough.
Mikheyev isn't small. Yeah.
With his genie sweatpants under his pads. Nice. Good stuff. I saw we had a super chat.
Oh, snap.
I was trying to see
as the kids say.
I caught it out of the corner of my eye before the goal. There it is. Thomas 199 says, "What's your take on Wyatt Kaiser being sent down?" We touched on it a little bit earlier in the watch along, but it's he got the reset treatment, and then the team started playing well and winning, so it was hard to shake up the lineup to get him back in. And with a guy like him, it's better to have your young players playing than sitting. So you send him to Rockford and give him those minutes and that responsibility. That's better than keep riding the bench and not playing. So
yeah, and
I don't mind it, especially with Jones and Martinez coming back. Again, like we mentioned, like they're going to have to kind of figure out the defensive rotation here with the guys that are here now, the guys that are coming back. But I'm fine with those young guys going back and playing those minutes for the time being, with the idea that it's very likely that they'll be back up at some point this year.
Yeah, especially with Sorensen involved now, and knowing these guys better than anybody, and knowing when they're fighting it, knowing when they need that reset. And I don't think a young defenseman like Wyatt Kaiser getting sent back down for a refresh means anything about his future. He's gonna,
No.
Louis Crevier's out today, but Darren Pang before the game said he'll play again Monday. So who sits? I don't know. We got to see. Maybe it's TJ Brody. Maybe it's Kevin Korchinski, who's not, no one's playing well tonight, but this has been his worst game since being recalled. So maybe he needs a bit of we'll see. But I think it's something that we didn't predict this season when Korchinski was called up for Martinez, that Kaiser would be the guy going back. I truly felt like that no matter what the situation was, as soon as the Hawks got Jones or Martinez back, that Korchinski was going back to Rockford. And he's played well enough to stay up here. And then if he starts to slip and they feel like they have to send him down, then you call Kaiser back up. You send Korchinski down. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that plan as well.
Especially as long as, the message is being communicated to these guys of, hey, we're not losing faith in you. You're not playing bad. We just want to make sure you're getting the minutes you need, and let's go down there and just refresh things. There's nothing bad about that.
I feel like that's a big part of like the messaging with the young guys is like keeping their eyes on the longer road ahead rather than just the immediate, what's happening in front of you. Because
Bertuzzi and Bedard back out there.
Bedard just had a shift with I think it was Reichel and Foligno. So Bedard is getting double shifted this game.
Good. I'm all for it.
Yeah. Poor Joey Anderson. It is very clear.
When Luke left, Joey Anderson's like,
it is very clear as Greg did point out to us when that change was made, is that Joey Anderson is not the favorite player of Anders Sorensen. And
no,
as soon as Sorensen got the job, it was like the next day or 2 days later, it was like Joey Anderson's on waivers, and now it's just like he's still here and he's still playing, but he's playing like 6 minutes a night.
That's an interesting turnover. I spent 30 seconds taking a look behind the net, and then all of a sudden they just turn it right over.
Murphy with a leg save. Ooh, here we go. Oh, I thought he had someone with him.
All right. Let's keep this going. I mean, the old hockey adage of score effects where you're down, you start pouring it on.
Yeah. Nice.
Hopefully it plays out that way. Make it interesting. Goal.
It's the last thing they need.
Seth Jones with the puck. Everybody hold on to your butts. All right.
All right, come on,
yeah,
guys.
Calgary, just watch the way they forecheck. The Hawks have no time to do anything. 2 forecheckers, 4 Hawks being forced back into the zone. They're all over them. Yep.
Yeah, it's good structure.
And Calgary's happy to play this back and forth. Let's just
when you're
get it to the blue line, dump it in.
When you're sitting on what was a 5-1 now 5-2 lead, you can fall back into just chip it up, chip it out, kill time. But I feel like that's when teams get in trouble. That's when a 5-1 lead becomes a 5-5 game. He said to foreshadow.
Nice job.
Just doing my part. Got to make up for breaking the penalty kill streak with my question. $33 penalty kills in a row. That is impressive.
It really is. I mean, you knew it was going to get broken at some point, but the team's been,
for this team to do that is really impressive.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, though? When you've got a team built of bottom 6 forwards, you got a lot of guys that are capable and experienced in penalty killing.
Yeah, right.
I wonder if there's like you're going through a good streak like that defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you step on the ice to kill a penalty, like do you start to get like more I wonder if you wonder about like, oh, you got to keep the streak going. Like I wonder if it starts to sink in there a little bit that
think about it.
Yeah, that it's something, you know.
Well,
like you think of it like a no-hitter almost. Like, okay, now I got to think differently about every pitch I throw,
right?
Because I've got this no-hitter going.
I'm sure that they'll say no, they don't think about it, but I feel like you can't not, even if you're trying to, you know, be unaware of it on purpose and just be like, yeah, I mean, we've been on a good, you know, a good roll here, and how many has it been? Oh wow, and like I'm sure they all know.
Yeah,
like, ooh, big hit, Allen, nice. But yeah, I mean, you start to. It does add a little bit of pressure to it, but 33 in a row is really good. That's how you climb into the top 5 penalty kills in the league. It's killing that way.
I want Reichel to start picking up some points.
Be nice.
That's a way to do it. That's a hell of a play.
It's a good
shit for him.
Good play. Joey Anderson. Right into his chest.
Cole in the chat says, would it be worth buying out Seth Jones's contract or trying to trade him and taking half his contract back? I'm telling you, the cap hit is not as problematic as people would lead you to believe. The salary cap is going up big time, first of all. Second of all, Jones has been here when the Hawks have not really needed to spend a ton of money. And frankly, he's overpaid. Maybe at the most by $2 million, which is not ideal, but it's not like he's giving you nothing and making $9 million. He's still a good player. He's an effective player. He's not a Norris Trophy candidate. Maybe he should be, but you know, he's always compared to Dougie Hamilton with the Devils because they were both the free agents at the time. Like Dougie Hamilton isn't setting the world on fire either. They're different players, but it's just, you know, I think this idea that Seth Jones is this guy that is sinking the franchise is just completely wrong. And it became a really hot topic when Sam Bowman gave up as much as he did to end up getting Seth Jones. But now when you look back on it, the Hawks got the better end of that deal. And he's fine. Like, enjoy the fact that there's a really good defenseman on this team that is still at or near his prime. And yeah, it's longer than you'd like, but Seth Jones is going to be pretty valuable towards the end of that contract as these young guys start coming up and he can sort of start easing them into bigger roles. And don't underestimate the influence that he's had on some of these other young defensemen. Like having a guy like Seth Jones around is valuable for these guys. You know, it's very easy to hate him because of the dollar amount, but again, if he was providing nothing, sure. Like we've seen some awful contracts with zero return on investment.
Yeah.
That's not the case with Seth Jones. He's a little bit overpaid, sure, but he's a very valuable player, a very good player. Flawed, yes, of course, but when the team gets better, he'll have more value because he probably won't be relied on as much when Levchinov is fully realized and Korchinski's fully realized and Vlasic is fully realized and Jones is kind of winding down his contract here. The burden will fall on those three, and then Jones can sort of sit back and be more of a valuable commodity. Also, maybe at that point they do consider trading him and eating some of the contract, but I don't see it. I think he's going to be here until that contract ends. I don't know.
He's got 5 years remaining on his current contract, to go to the end of the 2029-2030 season.
Yeah.
If you were to buy him out, for argument's sake, you're paying him till the end of the 2034-35 season. So 10 years from now, you'd still be paying him. And the savings over the 5 years, first year you'd save $4.433 million. That's next year. Then it's 1.93, 1.43, 1.43, 1.43 to the 2029-30 season that you're saving on the cap. Then from 2030 to 2035, you are 1.066 million on the cap for Seth Jones, which again doesn't feel like a lot, but
No.
at that point, in theory, in 2030, it's crazy to think that far ahead, but you're likely to get Alex Vlasic, let's say, for argument's sake, you have Alex Vlasic on a big contract.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be his third with the team. You'd have Connor Bedard on his big contract, likely his second with the team. Maybe Frank Nazar has earned a big contract. Maybe by that time, Artem Levshinov has a big contract, or Kevin Korchinski. Like, you'd have, in theory, if this rebuild goes the right way and is on a timeline of, getting back to playoff and Stanley Cup contention by the 2030s, you're going to be a team that is probably spending as many dollars as you can to be competitive. Right. And if you're going to say, Seth Jones is going to cost us an extra $1 million and change to just not be here for 5 years, that long term might come back to bite you. And
I just think too, like $9.5 million 3 years from now is going to feel like a walk on the. I mean, you're going to see guys sign those contracts this summer. When you look at what Draisaitl got, what Rantanen's eventually going to get, like those sort of things. Like, those are going to be 12, 13. Like, Connor McDavid's due a new contract. That's going to set the new mark.
That's going to be $20
That's
million.
probably you think 20? Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
I'm thinking like 15 million for real. What did Draisaitl sign for? Like 13?
14, wasn't it? Or no? Who got some? Didn't someone almost reach 14? Is it 13.5 for Draisaitl, or no? Matthews is 13 point something.
New deal for Draisaitl was $14 million
per year.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, if Draisaitl's 14, then McDavid's 15 plus, I'd say.
How can he not be? He has to be the highest paid player in the league at all times. By the way, Matthews is 13.25. And a new Blackhawks penalty kill streak is alive after they killed Connor Bedard's hooking penalty.
Good job.
And with the Oilers, they've got Sam Bowman handling the cap, so everything will be fine.
Yeah. Can't wait till Brandon Saad is an Oiler. He's got to join his... So
when you talk about Seth Jones, like, a problematic contract is Darnell Nurse. That's $9.25 million.
The Oilers get less on investment on Nurse than Seth Jones is bringing to the table with the Blackhawks.
It's a guy that they don't trust in important situations.
Well, it's a guy that they're throwing out there. That's the expectations are he's going to be a $9 million defenseman, and he's not. And then they don't have the depth at defense to say like, oh, okay, well, we're just going to shelter him. Like, he's still out there playing big minutes for them. So, with Jones, and yeah, maybe expectations are different because the Oilers are a cup contender and the Blackhawks are not. But with Jones, you have a guy out there who can lead your team in minutes and play in all situations and be relatively reliable in all of them. Given the expectations. So yeah, I'm just the Seth Jones sucks crowd. I'm at this point. I don't I don't know. I'm just choosing not to engage in that because we've expressed every angle of that discussion. And if you're still saying that he sucks and is bad and should be traded, okay.
Yeah,
that's your then that is your opinion. Cool setups for the
the Winter Classic here looks great.
Soderblom's got a very Tony Esposito-esque look there.
I wonder he's got the net sewn between his legs like Tony O used to do. I love that, man.
Yeah, hey.
Tony O used to cheat with the best of them.
Get your advantage.
Take the stuffing out of the pads when the league officials come in, then restuff them before the game. Put the little fishing wire between your knees in case those 5-hole shots get through.
Fishnet.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. All right, let's get another one here. Blackhawks.
Yeah. Start. Just keep trying to chip away.
Yep.
5-2 with.
Let's get a power play here.
9.5 to play. Drop the puck. Jeez.
No one paid to see you, ref.
Hate that stuff. $9.46, 45, 44, 43.
Well, you got to have the puck to score.
Yeah,
that would be
a good start.
Helpful. It's a nice defensive play by Seth Jones.
Bum. He's terrible. Ooh.
Oh.
All right.
All right. Whatever. Like I said, I don't understand the game, so
it's free shot night.
We got another super chat from Thomas.
Again. Thank you.
He said, also, much love to you too and Greg. I miss him like you all do, but I'm still going to support you at CHGO. Go Hawks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas.
New ways to support Greg, too. Find out on his social medias at Greg Boyson. Launched a new, why can't I think of the word? Substack today.
Newsletter, Substack.
So go check it out. People have been asking how they can support Greg. Yep. There's how you do it.
It's a good way to do it. Power play coming up to the Blackhawks.
I mean, there were 3 penalties on that shift that could have been called.
Yeah.
Bedard got punched in the face. Bertuzzi got tripped.
All right. Looks like they might be calling 2 penalties here, according to our chat.
Good. They should. There were definitely 2 penalties in that play.
That'd be nice.
We have a comment from AMW Chicago. Enjoyed today's watch along. Been doing a bunch of shopping and running around. You guys have basically been my radio. Go Hawks.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. Oh, enjoy.
Yeah, they're calling
enjoy
2.
Your outing. Yeah, 2? 5-on-3?
Yep.
Let's go. Full 2 minutes of 5-on-3. You have to come away with a goal here.
There's Taylor Hall gets grabbed by the arm. Tyler Bertuzzi gets tripped within a course of 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's a hook. You can't hook him that way.
That's a paddling.
And that's a trip.
Yep.
Nice. All right.
Have people come around on Bertuzzi yet, by the way? Dude's making plays from his knees.
I think most people are coming over to the not hatred of Bertuzzi's side.
He's been very effective.
Yeah, I mean, when your team has the puck, he can play effectively.
And he goes and gets it when you don't have it.
Yeah.
All right, who's out there? Bedard, Bertuzzi is at Nazar at center.
You got Foligno.
Nope, Foligno.
Vlasic and Teravainen.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to come away with a goal.
Yeah, I get a goal here,
guys.
There he is.
Hey,
look at me. Huh?
Tyler Bertuzzi.
Look at that guy. That's sit down,
tonight.
buddy.
Nice
scoreboard with your knockoff jersey. I was in where was I? Where I saw that yesterday.
Nice play. Win the face-off.
I was at a hot dog place by my house, and they had a Patrick Sharp knockoff jersey framed. the Hawks have like the squared off serif.
Yeah.
It was like it's like not even the right font.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, if you're gonna frame a jersey, don't get a knockoff.
It's special.
That's
good. They needed that.
All right, still a game here.
And you still have the power
150
play.
of power play time left.
You'll have almost a full power play.
They just get another one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get him, Connor.
Connor, don't
Bite
do
his
that.
ankles.
You have people out there to do that for you.
Nazar's got him.
So yeah, so is Backlund going to the? Is he stop play? It's got to be.
There's 1:46 left on the first power play.
Does he just trip him off the draw?
Oh, it's a cross check to the back.
Yeah, you can't.
Right in front of the referee.
Yeah, that's smart.
I mean,
did they not call it?
well, they blew it dead, so it's got to be something. Apparently not.
They just stopped play because they thought he was hurt.
If anyone knows why they stopped the play, please let us know in the chat. This is the issue with not being able to hear the game.
Jeez. So yeah, so I guess they must have just stopped it because he was down on the ice. But that, I don't know how you can just say that's not a cross check.
This is a very poorly officiated game.
Yeah, it's not been one.
And it's not something. It's not a well we go to often.
Right.
And saying like, the refs.
I try not to do that.
No, but this has been. There's been 3 or 4 pretty egregious moments that have been called.
Yeah. Damn! I thought they were getting another 5-on-3.
Well, I mean,
that would have been really
it's
nice.
frustrating because all this is doing too is
Bedard has been assaulted this.
Yeah,
game.
it's empowering them to keep doing it.
Jeez.
It just all right. Well, we're allowed to cross check Connor Bedard in the back. Cool.
Okay,
Let's just keep doing that.
Free shots night, like I said.
All right, let's move forward.
There we go. No one home.
3 points tonight for Bedard, by the way. 3 for Bertuzzi as well, correct?
Yeah, 2 goals and
2
assist.
for Bertuzzi.
Did Bedard get an assist on the power play goal?
He did. 1 goal, 2 assists.
So 3-point night for both him and Bertuzzi. Good job, Tavo. That's creative. Yay. Darn.
Gotta get McCavo out there. That's our only hope.
Mikheyev on the power play. That'd be something for the file. Damn. Reichel. Get some speed.
That is the Reichel play. The chip and go get it play. That has become his trademark.
Well, as long as he's playing
That's
with
a trip.
speed, that's a trip. Oh, come on.
Oh, we can't call that. We called the other one.
Yeah, right. Come on. Get a rebound.
I don't know.
It's really
it's
extremely
enraging. It is very, very frustrating.
God.
And in a 2-goal game, say what you want, like the Hawks, they've not been great this game. There's no question about it. But if half the penalties get called that should have been, it's a different game. It's a different game. If they have another 5-on-3 for 1:45, it's very potentially a 1-goal game right now. Aggravating.
Come on, Mikheyev. You're supposed to keep your goal streak going.
Similarly, the Oilers, speaking of the Oilers losing to the Hawks after having 80 shot attempts, they're out shooting the Sharks 39-18 and are losing 2-1.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's hockey for you.
Yep. All right. Just about 6 minutes to go here. Get a quick one, and you never know.
Yeah. Keep pressure on.
That's...
Oh, don't get called.
Yeah, that was a slash. Okay, so...
Watch that get called. Yep.
It got called, of course.
Of course.
Wow!
Of course.
This is awful.
Jesus.
There's no doubt it was a slash.
No.
It is a penalty. If it had happened to the Hawks, we'd be calling for it. But 3 or 4 more blatant... Ooh, damn, that's a hell of a shot. But still, 3 or 4 blatant penalties not called by on Calgary, and now...
Yeah.
It's an appropriate call, but it's only going one way. That's irritating.
That's frustrating. Golly. I mean, the cross check is just how you don't call that. I can't.
It happened at your feet.
Right in front of him. It happened right in front of him, and they stopped the game for it too. And then you just come away with no call. Frustrating.
Trying to see if anyone had a reason why they did stop the clock.
For the Bedard one?
Yeah.
I think it's because he was down on the ice for a second, and they probably thought he was hurt. Maybe because he got cross-checked in the back. But I think that might have been why they did it.
Hey, there's a Coors Light ad. That should remind me to tell you that we are presented by Coors Light. They're presenting our watch-along, so we thank them as always. Got our little bucket right here of Coors Lights. Get yourself a bucket or a case or a 6-pack or a 12-pack or whatever you like of Coors Light. Go to CoorsLight.com/CHGO hockey and have it delivered straight to your door. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Just keep giving them little sprinkles, Sarah.
Yeah.
A little sprinkle here and there. You know? I got to save the big Christmas script for post-game.
Yeah.
I got to pick my movie. I don't know what it is yet.
I mean,
now I started doing this. I have realized how few Christmas movies I've seen. I just watch the same ones over and over again all the time.
Well, you could do the generic Hallmark movie of.
Oh yeah, are you a big city executive?
Big city girl goes back to
hate the
hometown.
Hallmark movies.
They're the same movie every time.
She is engaged to another big city executive.
Yeah,
who's a great guy. Everyone thinks that they make a great couple, and everyone believes that those two are going to have a great life together, except for her. She goes back home for the holidays.
Meets a tree farmer
because her dad needs help putting his tree up, and it's been rough for dad when without mom around, and daughter comes home and oh, look who it is! It's old high school boyfriend who now runs a reindeer orphanage. And
look, he's jacked.
And he's super jacked with a nice square jaw and a perfect.
You know what happened? He got rid of those glasses.
And it's the gingerbread making competition at the town hall, and she wins, and with his help, and she finally believes in not only in Christmas again, but also herself, and decides to break up with her big city executive fiance and stay home in her hometown with her new boyfriend / ex-boyfriend and open a bakery.
Have you guys?
The end.
I think you checked every box in there. I really love the reindeer orphanage too. I think that's actually the name of the movie.
It is
Reindeer Orphanage.
Have you guys seen or heard of the new Netflix Christmas movie where a girl makes a snowman and then the snowman turns into like a hot guy?
Oh, I have heard of that.
And then she ends up falling in love with the hot snowman. I haven't seen that yet, but I want to.
That's our next watch.
How many references are like, wow, you're making my heart melt?
Yeah.
Are in that movie.
It's honestly weird to see like the CGI of like the hot snowman too. It's just all kind of weird.
Okay,
the snowman's got like a 6-pack.
Yeah. I don't know.
It does have a name like that.
Hot Snowman
like
or
something like that, yeah.
It's on Netflix though.
Is that what it's called?
It's called Hot Frosty.
Hot Frosty, yeah. I recommend that's a good couples night movie.
I mean,
Lacey Chabert is in this movie.
Usually those kind of plot lines were designed for what I like to refer to as documentary films, documenting the lovemaking between two people very, very graphically. But no, they're just going with it for a real movie, huh? Intended for the masses.
Craig Robinson's also in this movie.
No, if Craig Robinson's in it, I'll give it a chance because hopefully it's laughing at itself. There's 9 guys on the ice right now. Okay, good job.
I hope it's got 75% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I mean, there's only two ways you make that movie. Well, three. One is, again, adult documentary. Two is you make fun of it while you're making it.
Yeah,
right?
you have to be self-aware.
Yeah, self-aware and make fun of it. And if Craig Robinson's in it, I would imagine that vibe is in there.
I hope so, yeah.
Hawks Net is empty, by the way, with just over 2.5 left.
There's still a hockey game.
Or it's made for like $25 and it's just awful.
They spent all their budget booking Craig Robinson.
Right.
Well, I mean, if there's hot snowman CGI, I mean, they're spending some money.
Sarah, were you was empty netter here? Just wide
of the empty net.
Was your childhood a Polar Express?
I do like the Polar Express, but we were a big stop motion holiday movie family.
Oh, like the old ones?
Yeah, like Santa Claus Comes to Town and Rudolph. And
I love those ones.
I always thought the animation on Polar Express was like off-putting.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, they make it's like real people, but they green screen, like they put dots on them.
Yeah,
so it's like real people.
It was also like at the beginning of
that type of
like
CGI.
That kind of technology.
It was the early technology of it.
So
Avatar's filmed the same way, but
Right,
obviously
but that was
the
made.
budget's not as big.
I can't watch
Years
Avatar. I can't watch either because of the CGI. It bothers me. The rides in Disney are cool.
Yeah.
There's that. Have you ever done the Flight of Passage in Disney?
No, I've always wanted to see
Like you
that
literally
one.
sit on. It's like a motorcycle seat, but you're supposed to be riding like one of those. I don't know what they're called, like a dragon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing like breathes.
Ooh.
Like it's like you're actually riding an animal. It's very cool.
Interesting.
Anyway, hockey. Sorry, everybody. We're waiting for the puck to drop here.
I think this is.
Oh my God! The Hawks used a timeout.
Timeout, Blackhawks. 2:08 to play. Most 3-point games by a teenager in franchise history. Connor Bedard has one today for 8.
All right, 2 behind Patrick Kane.
He's
got time.
Will he break that record? He could.
How long until he is?
He will be. He's
July, right?
He's a July birthday, so he'll be 19
right.
the rest of the regular season. Come on. Oh, Donato.
Oh, I like that. I like the idea.
I mean, as long as it's on net, otherwise that's ringing
That's
around. No one home.
Come on, get one. Just make it fun.
Yeah, make it. Give me false hope.
And if Calgary's going to score, it's got to be a goalie goal. That's the only one I'll accept.
It's the only way it's acceptable.
Tuck it.
Ooh.
How? That's in.
Yeah?
Oh, kiss my ass. Call it a love story. Sorry.
Fudge.
Oh,
and we got
extracurriculars.
We got fights.
I see Bertuzzi in there. I just see the hair.
Yeah.
There he is.
Bertuzzi. Is that Foligno's in there too?
I can't. Yeah, I think so.
Pospisil.
Get him. Get him, Tyler.
Hey.
He's Pospisil's really tough when the ref is between him and somebody else.
When there's 2 refs.
What a coward. Did it look like Foligno just said, I've been trying? Like, I've been trying to fight you? I've been trying? Like, hey, I've been trying. Now you want to fight? I want to see why this got blown dead. Why is it blown dead?
He got pushed into the net.
Oh, whatever. Control the puck.
I mean, just saying, like, yeah, I think that's...
Be stronger on your skates, jerk.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting position to be in. Ooh.
Whoa.
Okay. And then...
Speaking of
Pospisil,
Hot Frosty.
Oh, okay.
Oh, damn.
Well, now that makes sense.
Well, that's not great.
Now that makes sense. Now that makes sense why that happened.
There's that Bertuzzi blood coming out.
Oh, jeez.
What? I barely touched him. He had a bug on his leg.
I was trying to pop his skate blade back in.
Hey, that's like David Ross, by the way, when he shaves his head.
Yeah.
Huberdeau. That's what we said. If you're gonna lose, at least go out fighting. literally and
They're
figuratively.
trying.
Yep.
Yeah. This game has got chippy and pretty almost out of hand. Almost out of hand, but it's just going to run out of time before it actually gets to that point. The way it's been officiated and no goal. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, did they review it? They must review it.
They probably took a look at
Yeah.
it, but 2 minutes for slashing.
Misconduct.
So Calgary gets something. Also misconduct. All right. So they're just tossing them out of the game. Oh, jeez.
God.
Oh, man.
Remember we played intramural hockey in college?
Yeah,
Getting our
like
ass
floor
kicked.
hockey.
And my buddy's like, I'm tired of playing this game. He just slashed the hell out of a guy and then just dropped the stick and left the gym. He's like, I know, I'm going. It's like, Jesus.
Done.
I don't want to play anymore.
Done. No, Hawks still technically have the advantage with the empty net, or at least the man advantage.
Bertuzzi, roughing. Pospisil, minor for... It just says minor. I'm
Okay.
assuming it's roughing too.
Yeah.
There was no misconduct given. I was wrong.
I
I
thought
thought the hands
that's-
on the hips was a
yeah.
misconduct.
Right there.
There we go.
Yeah!
McCavo!
Mikheyev. There you go.
Did Tavo assist?
Oh, he might have. He's on that. He's out there for it. That's big. That's now a 4-game goal streak for Mikheyev. 5 goals in 4 games. Yeah, Tavo shot it.
I think Foligno's getting one too.
I'm
Could
pretty
man,
sure-
Bedard to Tavo. Tavo shot.
Shoots.
If Foligno doesn't touch,
I don't
Foligno
think he
touched
does
it.
it.
Yeah, Foligno
No.
got a swat on it.
So Bedard's got 4 points.
I don't think Bedard gets a point here. I think it's gonna be Tavo.
You think
Yeah, it's Mikheyev from Foligno and Tavo.
Yeah.
Tavo, by the way, 2 points in this game.
Nice.
So that is 10 points in his last 4 games.
4 games. Yeah.
That's good.
That's very good.
That's
yeah.
a good pace.
All right.
It's on pace for
Mrazek's off.
400
look out.
points.
1 minute to go.
Coors Light
Unsponsored
minute
1
remaining
minute.
in the period.
Unsponsored 1 minute. All right. Hey,
Come on.
let's see.
Tie it up. Screw these guys. The Calgary comeback. It's a Blackhawks tradition unlike any other.
Exactly. Another.
Oh!
Shit.
Be Marian Hossa instead.
30 seconds. I'm not looking at the chat because I'm sure people are ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure it's ahead.
Oh, no, Tavo.
No.
Don't do that.
Oh, no.
That's the game. Damn.
Screw you, Bob Backlund. Your stupid cross-chase chicken wing.
Oh, I
Bob
had chicken
Backlund,
wings last
anybody?
night.
Remember Bob Backlund, the
Yeah,
wrestler?
yeah.
Terrible
Bob
looking.
Backlund.
Terrible character.
Just the.
That move hurts like hell, though. You ever
Oh,
get a
yeah.
cross-face chicken wing?
I've had someone put my arm behind my back.
That
like
might be the most painful wrestling move I've done to you.
Mm.
Someone put on me for 1 second. I almost died. It was awful. It was awful.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it. 6-4.
Hey, you know what?
2 seconds left. Hey,
We'll save it for the post game,
yeah,
but
credit to them for
Yeah.
mounting the comeback.
they had a lot going against them in this one.
That's tough.
Yeah. All right, we are going to wrap up. This game is basically final. We're going to get our ducks in a row, get ready for the post game show.
Bathroom
Make
break.
sure you are following us on YouTube, subscribe, hit that like button, and keep an eye on the CHGO social medias. And, of course, the YouTube page. When that link pops up, we'll be live with the post-game show. So give us about 10 minutes, and we'll be right back with you. Final score, Hawks lose 6-4 in Calgary. Thanks for watching this watch-along, presented by Coors Light. We'll see you on the post-game show momentarily.
We all silly like the mayor.